So last week, um, if I remember correctly, you made your way out of, well, recently you have made your way out of the captivity that you found yourselves in Crosswater. Um, you collected up a bunch of lumber on your way out of town, some nails, a keg of ale, maybe some other supplies, and on the 15th of Nurui, you left Troll's End, heading east. By the way, just a reminder, Cram has lost his blessing, so has Ronique. You were visited in a dream, each of you, and learned that you lost your blessings. They were only 30-day blessings anyway. Ronique learned that her father is still alive and well, but he is now in the hands of his own fate. As far as the weather on the 15th, it was sunshine, calm winds, warm temperatures, 59 degrees. It was the nicest day in weeks. Approximately 2 in the morning, you left Trolls End heading east. You found a dying man hanging from a tree, and he was all bloodied. And I believe it maybe was Arden who initially found him. He was heading down the road, I think, to scout some fires. You saw a whole bunch of fires along the road. It looked like troops that were stationed along the road in the distance. So it was dark. You could easily spot the watchfires. Arden was, I believe, going to try to sneak up and investigate, but what he found instead was a dying man. He and Ronique, I think, found the dying man, who said before he passed that he and his friend basically were trying to make it to the ruins to save the children. And his friend managed to get away and escape to the hills in the north. And you picked up his tracks and decided, rather than going straight through all the watches, you tracked this fella north, um, outside of town, and followed his tracks. Well, actually, you went 4 miles north, made camp because you definitely were in need of some rest, and then you woke up a few hours later and traveled 8 more miles in open territory during the day, which puts you. I'm actually going to. Actually, let me just check something real quick. Okay, good. Um, Slide my map over a little bit. I pinged the wrong area. So you were here in Troll's End, and you camped approximately here, and you moved up just below the hills, northeast of Troll's End, and that's where you camped the night of the 15th. You woke up on the 16th to an early morning fog, followed by light chilly rain and 48 degrees temperatures. And you then proceeded to travel 8 miles, 4 over some rough hilly area, and then 4 through open territory. And you made camp on the 16th. Some of you were injured. All of you are actually in pretty good shape now, but you were tending to some of your injuries, doing some foraging along the way. On the 17th, you woke up to heavy rainfall, chilly winds, 48 degrees. Traveled 8 miles in the open. You camped early, and then you decided to construct a frame and canopy for the wagon. So about that time, let me see, 15, 16, I believe that puts you approximately here. With that canopy, you cut some slits in it for shooting arrows out of the wagon. I decided with the wood framework and the canopy, if if you were under assault, I would give you cover bonus in the wagon, like a plus
What a guy.
25 additional. That's the kind of guy I am. But I'll be honest with you, chances of you having that happen are slim because we're approaching the final leg of the journey, so I don't anticipate you getting to use that wonderful bonus I just gave you. So, anyway,
Until we revive the characters in the future, maybe.
well, this is true because you will keep the wagon, maybe. So, on the 18th, you woke up to light rainfall and cool winds, 54 degrees. So the temperatures have been rising, um, getting better. And you traveled 12 miles across open territory, and you eventually made it over to this area here, which brought you to the edge of a forested ravine, and you made camp probably just inside the forest. Nothing really going on the whole time. You basically did some herbs and foraging for herbs and doing some hunting. I don't remember anything significant really happening too much last week. The primary part of it, I think, maybe might have been getting out of Troll's End, because if I
Didn't
remember,
we find a big chest of gold?
oh, I think that was a chest of nails.
No, it's definitely a chest of gold. I remember you saying we found a big chest of gold. Had some mithril in it.
Of course.
Quite
Yes.
a few
Enough to go round.
magical items.
Yeah.
What in the world? Somebody's been drawing. Let me see. Who's the culprit? Rend, maybe. I'm
Yep.
guessing.
Definitely
It
not
was Rend.
I think it looks like Ren's work.
So, on the 19th, you had high winds and heavy rainfall. So it's been raining again. You've been getting a lot of rain in this area. It's just the type of weather you're going to get in this area. But you traveled 8 miles, 4 through the rough and forested area, popped out, and then traveled about 4 more miles over the open land and camped about there. And again, nothing really significant happened other than foraging and tending to your injuries. You were kind of beat up coming out of Troll's End, some of you. And
Who's still injured?
at this moment, I think everyone
You
is
said everyone was healthy, didn't you?
100% healthy.
Except for Rend?
I think his injury is more mental.
Didn't somebody have a broken bone?
Oh, yes, that was Folan. Wait a minute. How did we get that healed up so quickly? Refresh my memory.
Someone used the plant or something like that.
So
That
you
took
were
so many days.
so you were treating it each day, correct?
We used
Edron. It was a herb that took 1d10 days to heal the bone,
Oh,
and it's been
Edram.
6 days.
Okay, that's right. You had Edram. That's how it healed. All right. So then on the final day of the session last week, you had high winds, heavy rainfall, 44 degrees, and you traveled 10 more miles across open land, and you came to another forested area, and you set camp about 2 miles inside the forest, and that's kind of where we're at now, right in this area on the 20th. Well, actually, that was the 20th. So you're waking up in the morning on the 21st, which is where we're picking up this week. The weather is high winds, heavy rainfall again. So very slushy, muddy, mucky ground that you're dealing with, and lots of rain and wind. Temperatures down to about 40 degrees currently. So as you wake up in the morning, what would you like to do?
Plan our route of attack.
Keep following the dude.
Oh yeah, we were following tracks, weren't we?
Yeah.
Presumably still kind of, and again, I'll just remind everyone, when you were in the jail in Crosswater, there was the big map on the wall where you could kind of see a clear indication of where the ruins were, which
is
would have been in this area.
Oh, the 3 dots.
Presumably. And Arden is trying to track. All right, so you're looking specifically for the tracks. You can kind of see in the mud there is this single set of boot tracks going through the forest. It's not really any road that you're on. It's kind of pretty rough, forested area. but you can easily follow these boot tracks through the mud. And warning signs, no real danger that
Oh,
you can detect.
Rory's detected danger.
Rory, you can roll another D100 and subtract. Alright, so yeah, you're not picking anything up. You're not even spotting these obvious boot tracks.
She's following her own boots in the mud, going round and round in circles.
She's not. She's following a bag of food in the back of the cart.
Oh, that's another thing you found. You found some sacks of food, which you took along with you.
She's found the barrel of ale and she's currently got it half empty.
I did, in case anyone didn't see it, I did add a new foraging macro, which will be slightly different. So you don't have to click on secondary skills anymore, but it's going to ask you a few other things. It's going to actually also add in your perception bonus as well, which is, according to the hands of the healer, that's the correct way to do it. So I'm going to try to do foraging a little bit different than we have in the past, although instead of doing it in groups, I still, like, normally you would do group foraging and do it once every hour. I still like to just keep it to once every 4 hours, but I let you do individual foraging. So speaking of foraging, in case anyone does any,
You said a lot of foraging information, but I didn't pick up which way we were actually doing it.
there's a new foraging button. That's going to be
And you need to know your foraging bonus.
well, no, the foraging bonus will be added in, but it's going to ask you.
Has the area been searched in the last 6 months? It says.
Yes. Uh-oh. Oh, that was because I was clicked on Rook. Rook doesn't actually have any foraging skills, but if anyone does attempt to forage, it'll just be a little bit different. And I still, like I said, like we have in the past, each one of you can do a separate foraging roll.
Foraging. Let's give your macro a test.
So I know that oftentimes you like to do some foraging before breaking camp, maybe, and as you go along each leg of the journey. So every 4 hours, as we move along, you can do your foraging. I would actually recommend it between now and the time you hit the ruins, because once you get in there, you are probably not going to find much of any use.
There you go.
Oh, very nice. Very, very nice.
Right, it didn't. It said, "Have I seen the herb before?" So I'm looking for healing herb.
You, I will say any one of these herbs that I have listed that you're very likely going to find, you have seen. So
There we go then.
You will find a 1d5 of the Arpsuzar stalk. So you can roll a d5.
Okay.
Graham will find 1 to 5 doses of the Thurl Clove. So you can
right, I see.
Yeah, so just roll a d5.
The first part with the has it been searched in the last 6 months, do I put yes or no?
You can put no.
There isn't a D5.
Just do like 2 square brackets, like 2 open brackets, and then put D5, and then 2 other.
Where?
You know the little right next to the P on the keyboard. I'm assuming the Mac has the same keyboard as the.
Yeah.
It'll be here. You'll want to do 2 of these. Oh, I'll put it in Discord for you.
What was the name of the herb again?
Arpsuzar is the one that you found.
Right, Arpsuzar.
So type it in just like that.
Oh, okay.
Is that in our herb list anywhere? Let's have a look.
And I think you have the Herbalist Guide to Rudar, so I think you had Arpsuzar already. Maybe not.
Men's muscle and bone, yes?
Yes.
No, men's muscle damage, sorry.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Okay.
Oh, I should have it right here.
It is.
I don't have my herb thing up, but
we've got it on the list, so I'll just add the 3 into
perfect.
that. There we go. Awesome.
What was the herb? Sorry.
All right, so the one that you found, Cram, was Thurl, Thurl. So you can
I've
add
got 4 of those then, Nikki. Do you want me to stick it in or into the... Hang on, I'll stick it in the herb cutty.
All right, Roderick. Oh, you're just making an observation. Okay, not really observing anything other than your companions searching for herbs. Oh wait, okay, hold on. I'm further than that. Let's see. I had to scroll
My
back.
cat updated.
Observing, foraging. We got that. We got Crams. Meadow. You're gonna find 1 to 5 doses of Rook nodule. So Meadow's finding D5 of Rook if somebody just wants to roll a D5, since she's in the kitchen.
Hello?
She wants Edict to do her
Yes.
D5 roll.
That was my roll, not Meadows. Only because it used my foraging bonus, not Meadows.
Roderick, you find some mushrooms. Go ahead and give me a perception roll. It's Roderick this time and not Arden. So let's see, Roderick. Get this up here. Fortifications. Probability.
What profession is Meadow?
Roderick. Oh, that's not bad. Roderick, go ahead and what profession? Meadow. Meadow. What are you? She's an explorer.
Nothing useful then.
All right. So, I think he meant what you found was nothing useful.
That's Meadows' roll. The first one was mine.
All right.
The skill difference is about 50 odd better. Meadow.
Roderick, you are contemplating tasting these mushrooms that you find. Go ahead and, as you're looking at them for about 30 seconds, go ahead and give me another perception roll. You are seriously thinking about tasting these scrumptious things. Scrumptious looking.
And what did Rory find? I think I rolled 241.
I'm sorry. I'll get to it. So let's see, Roderick. You actually bite into a nasty mushroom.
Yes.
Only Roderick.
Where is? There we go, Roderick.
Only because Arden wasn't here.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was your initial roll?
Love you too, Boo Boo.
Oh, a 6. Ooh. Oh.
It's a bit late to be going out the front, Boo Boo.
This is terrible.
No. For a bit.
So 79. Roderick, you are having severe cramps. You take 22 hits from this nasty batch of mushrooms you find. You are stunned for 5 rounds, but we won't worry about that because you're not in combat. So your companions will find you in bad shape. You're actually bleeding 1 hit per round. Oh, Russ, I'm going to put you in charge of Gimmelcod, who is your animus, since Ethan's not here.
Right.
Oh, you already are in. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was in charge of him last week. That's why the shoulders and stuff were healed. Because I used Edram, then I healed the muscles.
Okay, yeah. I think. Do I have his? I don't have his spell lists in there. Let me find those for you really quick.
Okay.
Sunday and Ethan. Just so you know what his spell lists are. He's got Surface Ways and Blood Ways, and he is a level 1, and he's currently got one power point. Let me see if he has any kind of a spell adder or anything. No. So, Roderick, you are bleeding 1 hit
Okay.
per round. And what else? Unless, I should mention, Alex, you could fate point that roll. Would you like to fate point the poison roll? Let's see. Are you answering me in there? Okay, so you want to fate point. All right, so instead of a 79, then it would have been a 29, in which case you are woozy and lightheaded and only take 10 hits. So Roderick has used a fate point. There we go. All right.
I don't see a subtraction of 95 on it.
In the macro?
Yeah.
Wait, that's did I not add that? Foraging. All right. Have you ever? Did you hit no? Or maybe you hit yes. Because it should be correct. Let me test it once. Foraging. And say it has been searched. Let's see. You are. Have you ever seen? We'll say no. Check that once. Why did it subtract 95? Oh, so you saw 95 subtracted. Okay. If you haven't seen the herb before, it will subtract 95. So for yours, it subtracted 95. So yeah, you have to answer the questions. In that case, any of the herbs that you could find, you have all seen. Well, actually, Folan, you just joined up with this group, so it's possible that you haven't had any experience with some of these herbs. So I would say that is likely that you may not have had come in contact with any of these herbs before. So yeah.
Gimmeltot, has he got herb law at all?
Let's check the tracker once.
Boo boo.
Herb lore. I would imagine he should.
Close the back door.
Let's see. Gimmelcod is here. Oh, I have to get rid of Goin. Goin is dead. Herb lore. Gimmelcod has a 10 in herb lore. So 2 ranks. And the correct way to do the herb lore, which I haven't been doing it correctly over the years. So herb lore rank of 2. You know the favored climate and terrain of this herb as well as general details of how to prepare it. So
Does he also have a minus in his perception?
I believe he does.
That'll
Actually,
explain the
I
role.
think he's got a terrible perception. I don't think he has.
Yeah, that'll explain the role.
Yes, he's got a negative 19.
Thought as much.
Not good.
He needs to improve that.
Let's see. Rory. Very nice. Rory, you're going to find 1 to 5 doses of Arp Susar stock, so you can roll a d5 for your foraging. Meadow, did I do yours? I did yours already. Meadow. I missed Rory's completely.
The first one of Meadows was actually Edig's.
Oh, Edig's. Okay, so Edig would have found...
Meadows' bonus is like 50 odd higher, so the second one is Meadows, the 248.
Okay, so then that would be Edig then that found the 5 doses of Rook, or 1 to 5 doses, so a d5.
1 dose.
Let's see, that was me, not Meadow. You were helping me forage. I used my skill, not yours. Okay, so I don't see one for... Oh, there's Meadows. Okay. Roderick. Good. You're unable to update the herb kitty, Mark? Or are you able to?
Sorry, I was on mute. I'm unable to.
I wonder why. Is there anybody else unable to?
There's no option to edit it.
All right, hold on a second. Let me check.
Oh, hang on. I might have been in the Wednesday one.
Oh,
That's probably what I
that would
did.
explain it.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. So, Meadows foraging. She would find 1 to 5 doses of the Arpsuzar stalk.
If we did have access to the Wednesday one, does that mean we can go in and steal their herbs and put them?
You could, which is probably exactly why I didn't give you that access.
It's a good job nobody here is in the Wednesday group.
Yeah, right. Meadow, Romanique, are you going to do any foraging or no? Oh, okay. How about Erky?
He said he had to disappear for a minute.
Oh, okay. All right. So
He said, "I'll be back," and I would quite like to hear Erky say, "I'll be back," because I would imagine it sounds quite like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm sure it would. All right. So Roderick, you did not actually take 22. Then it was knocked back to 10. Do you want to? Roderick's not looking so good. Do you want to do a heal 10? I have to remind your poor excuse of a healer every once in a while to maybe help somebody out. All right, so from here on out, you can hit yes for any or that you have seen the herbs before, Alex, because after your little bout of mushrooms, maybe Ren would take you aside and explain what's good and what's bad. And maybe Gimmelcod might do the same. They'll show you the herbalist guide to Rudar herbs. So Gimmelcod attempts to forage. Gimmelcod, go ahead and let me just check this real quick. Gimmelcod finds some mushrooms too. Give me a perception roll, Gimmelcod. Fortunately for Gimmelcod, the mushrooms he. Oh, and for your perception roll. Oh, actually, for your perception roll, Alex, it was supposed to be minus 20 other mods. Gimmelcod's is going to be a plus 30. So, Gimmelcod. No moldy snacks tonight. So, Gimmelcod, go ahead and give me a perception roll. See if you can distinguish these mushrooms from good or bad.
I have a minus 19.
Oh, well, well, you might roll well. And add a plus, or add 30. Don't put a plus in there, but put 30 for other mods.
Okay.
Can I convince him that any mushrooms are worth eating?
You could try.
So perception.
Also, Roderick, you got your 10 hit points back. Ronique cast a spell on you and hooked you up. Gimmelcod 58. So. We got, Ronique. Oh, that's your foraging roll, Ro? Really? That? Oh, Lord. Wait, you did a minus 95. You want to say yes. You're basically looking for herbs you're familiar with. You've been looking at all of these herbs for the last almost 2 months now, some of them. So you won't have that minus 95. So that's going to be another 190 in there. So instead of that, Rose, you are going to find 1 to 5 doses of the Arpsuzar stalk. So go ahead and do a D5 roll. All right, Gimmelcod fails his perception on these mushrooms and decides to. Maybe he looks over and he sees Folan eating mushrooms, and before he realizes, he takes a bite as well. And where is he? I think this is him. Fortunately for him,
I do need a question on that.
Yes.
One wouldn't just eat mushrooms if they couldn't identify them.
In that case, we'll call it carrots. I don't know. I don't eat mushrooms at all, believe me.
Hobbits do.
I do not. Oh, some do?
Hobbits do.
Okay.
Oh, hobbits do. Okay.
So would that be a poison resistance roll then?
Oh, I didn't let you do the poison resistance roll. I'm so sorry. Oh, Alex. I
I really hope that
I missed that
it
part.
just kills off a
Thank
stupid
you.
person.
I
I
wasn't
thought I'd just
reading.
mention it.
I forgot. Yes, resistance roll must be made. I'm sorry, Alex. You would have maybe failed. Let me see. Attack level for yours would have been pretty high, and your level. What level is Folan?
Like 2.
2.
Russ, this is your fault.
Why is it my fault? I'm level 1. I've got to make the same
you
roll
would
in a
have
minute.
failed anyway. Do a poison resistance roll for Gimmelcod. I'm so sorry. His isn't so bad. His attack level on this mushroom, we'll say.
Come on.
A level
Ooh,
1.
go on.
And he resists the poison.
I don't like the taste of these mushrooms.
His mushroom wasn't nearly as potent as the mushrooms that Rosalind's clapping. Not nearly as potent as the mushrooms that Folan found.
The mushrooms that Folan found,
Yes.
can I collect them up?
You can.
Don't trust him.
Whatever mushrooms he has not. And they're pretty potent.
That's fine.
If you want.
Yeah, let's get plenty of them. Get them all.
If you want to jot this down, I used an attack level of 6. So we'll say they're an attack level of a poison attack level 6. And Rowan, you also need to make a perception roll. You find some interesting looking, tasty looking plants.
What is it? D5 of those mushrooms?
Yeah, you could say D5. And he'll have eaten...
How can I get more of the poisonous shit than I do the regular stuff?
Terrible. Well, let's just say he ate 2 of them, so you'll have 2. Alright. Rowan, where was yours? There it is, 43. Give me a perception roll, Ro. Alright, so you're contemplating tasting these 2. Go ahead and give me another one. You're looking at them for about 30 seconds. Give me another perception roll, and you decide to toss them. Look over at Folan over there, looking kind of ill after the mushrooms he tasted, and you decide you think better. Do what? All right. So she hands them to Rend and asks him if he wants to eat them.
Are there enough of those poisonous mushrooms for us all to get a hand?
We'll say you have another D5 of the poisonous mushrooms. If somebody
From what Rowan just found?
From Rowan. And the ones that she found, if somebody wants to roll a D5, they will be an attack level 2.
I'm not too worried about them. Are you noting those down, Cram? Because I've already made a note on my sheet.
What's just happened? Can you just explain?
All right, so you rolled a D5. You did. Okay, so you have 4 mushrooms that Rowan was handing to Rend or Cram, and they are attack level 2. And also, if you want to write this down, they will deliver an internal poison crit, an A critical. The other ones, the 2 that you got from Folan, attack level 6, they will deliver an internal E critical.
Was the first one A critical?
And the first one, the ones from Rowan, those are an A critical, yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's see, what else am I missing? Blacksmith.
I've got 2 of the D6, the 2 of the level 6 as well.
All right. And what exactly are you doing with your blacksmithing? Like, what are you attempting to do?
Making a hanging basket hanger.
Oh wait, are we not? Do you have voice, Erky?
Is Erky back, or was it just
Well, he
someone else
whispered to
reading?
me, "How's his blacksmithing roll?" I
Oh,
was trying to.
he was lighting up, but it wasn't actually coming up. So maybe he's done something with his mic.
I'll say, Erky, you are successfully sharpening your blades, but you don't really have a forge out here. No real tools to. If you're attempting to increase the attack power of your blades, that's not going to work. But you can sharpen them. Like, you're not going to improve the quality really without a forge and the proper tools. Unique, Gimmelkad, critical, poison, level 3. You can tell he's dying inside right now. Just get a beer. I think I heard the beer crack open. Ronique, observations. Edict collects the poison mushrooms. Okay. So, Arden blacksmithing. You are sharpening your blades. That's what we'll say. But other than that, and maybe, actually, I don't think you're in any kind of metal armor, so we'll say you're just kind of maintaining your weaponry. I think he's talking to Rend. Oh, for those on the podcast, I guess I should probably read some of the things because you can't see what they're typing in the dialogue box. But Edig is asking Rend, I believe, he is the Hillman, I think, or Woodman actually. But will these mushrooms still work like they just?
Do you hear me?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Now you hear me.
I'd
No, I
imagine
hear
if you cook.
Yeah, I was
So
going
what he's
to
trying to
try.
ask is if
I
you
was
cook
going
them,
to
will they
beat
still be as
my.
potent, or will all the poison
I was going to
wear
beat
off?
my blacksmith skill. I was going to make a new hand axe also, so I have 2 hand axes
I
then.
don't think you can because there's no forge.
Right. You'll need a forge, and you'll need some.
The only way you could possibly do it is with if you had an axe head already, you could put it on a haft, but that would be woodworking more than blacksmith.
Right, but well, I'm just sharpening my weapon then a little bit more better. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I was thinking you might have to make a herb law check, Russell, to find out. If they'd still have the same potency.
Okay, can you just say I'll be back?
no.
Why not?
You shut me down. Well, I suppose John won't do an English accent, so.
I'll be back. Oh, that's not really an English accent.
You do Austrian, but you won't do English.
I can't. I try to practice. I have a better job. I can do a better job trying a French accent, and I suck. Terribly.
I don't want to know. It's too much information.
I would like to hear your French accent.
Oh, that reminded me of something. Thank you so much, Mark. I forgot about something I wanted to add to this session, possibly, depending on how far you all get.
So are we going to start to follow those tracks then?
Yes, I'm assuming you are.
Yeah, if you are ready, then well, at least I am ready to go.
I would say you could do that if you wanted to make a paste.
Well, I can go follow Legona's mission.
That herb law roll, John, is for the question that Edic had asked.
All right.
If you cook them,
Sure.
yeah, if they still have the same effect, basically.
Yes. You mean like if you brew it, or if you brew it
Yeah.
into like a potion or a drink or something?
It was
Yeah.
more like if we have got some unexpected guests while we're cooking evening meal.
All right.
I could cook up some extra and throw it in a plate and.
Yes, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you might have some empty vials.
Yeah. And also, John, if in a similar manner, if you went into battle, could you put the mushrooms on, like rub them along your weapon, and that would then be more potent as a...
No, if you boil it up and reduce it and make it into a paste, you could just smear it on your weapon.
Right. So we could do that now and put them in vials.
Yeah. It'll take 20 rounds to do that.
20 rounds?
Well, you've got
round is 6 seconds or 10 seconds.
Yeah,
right.
you've got the time. It's not like you're in combat or anything. So yeah.
Well, actually, no, because you're making a paste, so all you need to do is mash them up with a pestle and mortar, really, to be quite honest.
Right.
And then
So can we consider that we've done that with our mushroom of doom then?
Yeah. So you make it to paste, and then obviously the resistance roll will be whatever the mushroom level was.
Right. Do a someone who is good at it. Give me a cookery roll. Whoever's.
No, I'm not doing that.
I got this.
Who's good at it? No, let's check who's good at it before we do it.
All right.
I got this.
Oh.
I'm not touching that one.
Edic's got it. Cookery. Edic does have a 45, and actually, and Meadow's got a 70.
Yeah, Meadow. Let's Meadow do it.
It's a hobbit. Actually, what do you expect?
All right. So,
what about
Edic does a decent enough job whipping them up, so they don't lose any potency as he whips those into a paste. What are we eating here?
Did you want your level 2 mushrooms done?
Yeah, please. I presume that was done at the same time.
Because Meadow will do them.
Oh, okay.
Do your level 2 mushrooms. Do a cookery roll. You're trying to paste these things into a nice paste. The potency will.
Oh shit!
All right, so the level 2 will now become a level 1 paste. So it's still something, and it will remain effective for up to a week or until.
Meadow's better than Edic. Meadow can do it.
Well, actually, that's if you have it in a vial. I will say that it's going to be fine. But once you put it on the weapons, it may be applied to edged or pointed weapons. So it's going to be. You won't be able to put
on the hammer,
on a warhammer or a club.
Right.
So
I'll hand mine over. I'll hand my 4 portions of that over to anyone who wants it with a edged weapon. Then Ronik can have them.
So if a critical is obtained using a weapon,
to be fair,
the poison, then a resistance roll is made.
Would be best to give them to the archers because they can just dip their arrowheads in it and then fire them off.
We've got archers.
That's not a bad idea.
Like 4 or 5 of them.
Nobody ever uses a bow.
Meadow, Rory, Rowanik. One of the new guys.
We'll wait until we move. You're doing a foraging in camp, and then we'll do a foraging as you move. I was just Rowanik asking if she could do a foraging roll.
If you got to remember that Dragon was a ranged character, but had to become a meat shield because we didn't have any frontline fighters.
Rest in peace, Dragon. We miss Dragon. But we love Edic. Alright, so is anything else... Oh! Are you... You don't like it? Erky, are you going off on your own?
Yeah, I'm going.
All right.
Yeah, so do I do the tracking roll then?
Of course he is.
You know, Erky, that habit of yours is going to get you into trouble sooner or later.
I think it might be sooner rather than later.
I am looking forward to that. All right, so you do find the tracks. They're muddy because of the mud and muck in the ground. This guy's leaving some pretty deep tracks, very easy to find. And fortunately for you, there are no bad guys in the immediate area. So after you find the tracks, what would you like to do?
I'm going to continue follow them, but first I'm going to observe if there are anything nearby, any enemies or anything nearby.
But you haven't told any of us that you're doing this. You've just gone.
Are you're going off on your own and leaving everybody behind? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Erky, what I'm going to have to do, if you're leaving the party, I'm going to put you in your own voice channel. So I'll have to come back and forth since you're going on your own, right? I want to make sure I understand that you're leaving the party.
Yeah, I'm quickly just vanish. Yeah, so I'm going to follow those tracks.
You absolutely want to go on your own, right? You're leaving the party.
Yeah, and when I have found where the tracks go, then I'll be back in the world.
Well, it is morning. It is morning. You haven't left yet. Everybody was just kind of like searching for herbs, anything useful, and everyone is getting like packed up and ready to break camp and leave. That's why I'm asking, did you want to leave them all behind and go off on your own, or do you want to travel with the group?
I think he did. I think he's made it quite clear.
But, well, I'm going to, go ahead first and see where the tracks go, and I'll be waiting in others where the tracks are either there.
Yep, he's gone, John.
All right, so you're going to be, how far ahead of the rest of the party do you want to allow yourself to get?
Well, I'll be waiting maybe on the halfway something. Yeah, halfway.
How far?
Halfway up.
A half a mile?
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
So I'll be waiting on that point.
Right. So as you're all doing your foraging and whipping up your paste, you may notice that Arden has gone off toward the northeast through the forest, following the tracks. But since he's not like totally leaving the party, I will leave you in this voice channel. You don't like it? It's not bad.
I don't like it. Oh, what's for lunch?
Can't remember how do I do this? So is everyone, is there anything else that needs to be done before you head out?
Just slowing the pace a bit, give them a bit of a head start.
Let's see if we can follow the tracks first. So everyone needs to fail a tracking roll.
All right.
Did you just say everyone needs to fail a tracking roll?
Yeah.
John.
So that's where everyone's gone then.
So they're going to try to follow your tracks. Yeah, sure.
Do I see in the nearby where I am in the right now? Do I see any trees also?
Oh yes, you're surrounded by trees. You have about
You're what's known as lost.
you have like a 10-mile stretch, maybe like 10 miles by maybe 2
No.
or 3 mile wide stretch of forest. So you're in the woods. Just so you know where you're at, you are right in this area. Do you see where you're at on the map?
Oh,
Right here where I have the
right.
52. I don't see.
I'm like just about in
Oh no, that's right.
right, like there.
yeah. I don't think I have the. Hold on a second.
What happens if we follow the tracks and Erky loses them?
I don't know why I can't click on the. Oh, I probably made it map by accident. If you follow the tracks and Erky loses the tracks,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Do we lose Erky?
That is a possibility. Oh, I'm sorry. I had your wagon on the map layer. My apologies. Now it's on the token layer. So yeah, there's your wagon, Erky. That's basically where you are all kind of camped out, right around in that area there.
No, right.
Maybe a little bit kind of down in there, just inside the. I think you went
Did you,
about 2 miles into the forest last week.
Did you get a message back off Alex at all?
Oh, is Alex gone?
No, Alex.
Oh, Ethan.
Ethan, that's the one. Yeah, I thought it was Alex.
I forgot to send him a message, actually.
Oh,
I'm guessing
that's terrible.
possibly the girlfriend might have him occupied. Lucky guy.
Well, it's a Sunday.
Well, I gotta
Isn't she
keep
meant
it
to be
clean.
bringing him beer?
She should be, right? All right, so you're all attempting to follow Arden's tracks, and
Yeah,
doing
but
a fine job of it.
I'm
following the
driving.
other guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to climb on the nearest tree
I was gonna follow you.
and wait on.
Climbing up a tree again.
All right. So you're all following the other guy's tracks. So there's a possibility you might lose Arden's if Arden loses the tracks that he's tracking.
Adam's just said he's climbing a tree.
And I love that. You all know how much I love when he climbs a tree. So you are all pretty well, easily following the tracks that you're trying to follow. Not a bad roll there, Erky.
Yeah, so I'm climbing on the nearest tree and.
Does he have his anti-fall boots on?
Just waiting on its branch or something.
All right, so you kind of take a relatively careful climb up the tree. You almost feel like what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're kind of a reincarnated spirit, and you feel like somehow, somewhere in a previous life, you may have taken a serious fall out of a tree. So you carefully climb this tree. So you're going a little bit slower than you maybe normally would, and you are able to climb up. How high up do you want to go?
Not too high anyway.
So I want to make sure I got this right. So the time when you failed your climb roll, you wanted to go straight to the top, and now you actually do a decent job, and you're gonna not go so high. But that's all right. We love you, Erky. You managed to go up as high as you want. And what are you looking? You're kind of like looking out over the trees.
Yeah, just looking and waiting for the others if they're coming.
Oh, for the rest of the party. All right, so you're looking down on the ground.
Yeah. When they're coming on the near me, I want to, surprise them.
Oh, give me a hiding roll.
Yeah, about that I'm going to do. So was it the secondary?
That'll be in primary.
Primary. And Stark and hide, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hide. Yeah, that. 65.
You're kind of sticking out like a sore thumb, but they might not notice you. So as they get closer, maybe somebody could do a perception roll to see if you spot him up in the tree. Rowan spots you a mile away.
God damn.
She's not quite sure what you're doing up there, but Because she sees you up in the tree, but she sees you looking back this way instead of ahead. And maybe wondering why in the world you're looking behind instead of ahead. But she spots you.
Poor panda.
So I'm assuming everyone pulled out then, right? While you're moving along, do you want to continue to do any foraging at all? All right. So anybody that wants to do a foraging, go ahead. And let's see here. For our listeners, or anyone viewing this video, this is going to be kind of a boring session because we're going to do a lot of foraging as we approach probably what's going to be the most dangerous part of what we've been doing here. So I just want to make sure they're prepared going in. Row and eat, you're going to find 1 to 5 doses of the ARPS. Wait, I lie. You're going to find 1 to 5 doses of the rook nodule. Cram, do you know how to do it? The two square brackets, 2 on each side, and a D5. Cram will find 1 to 5 doses of the ARP Suzar stock.
Damn it, Rory and Cram. It's over 200.
Rory, very nice. You'll find 1 to 5 doses of the ARP Suzar stock. Edig, you will find a rook nodule. Rend, you will find 1 to 5 doses of the ARP
sorry.
Suzar stock.
I'm looking for more mushrooms.
You specifically want mushrooms. You will find some mushrooms. Go ahead and roll.
Shit! I was rolling the wrong button. I was using it through the secondary skills.
Oh, that's all right. So it would be higher because your perception roll would be in there.
That's 6.
Do you want me to re-roll it so
Go
it's
ahead,
easier?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So Meadows would be.
Did I give you a result there, Russ, for Rend?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You said 1 to 5 of the Alpsuta.
Yes.
You're
getting
that
plenty
one.
of that, so that may prove to be useful.
There's Meadows.
It kind of puts me off a bit, John, to be quite honest, because we've now got 16 doses of men's muscles. Are you planning to destroy muscles on us at all?
I have a feeling that you may need some help.
And that was me looking for mushrooms.
All right, so you do manage. Are you looking for? Yeah, you managed to find some mushrooms. Give me a D5 roll for how many, and a D5 roll for the attack level. All right, so you find 4 attack level 4 mushrooms.
And then Meadows was a 194.
And then Meadow, assuming looking for herbs.
That's all right.
So
Yeah.
she will find. Actually, I'm going to mix it up a tiny bit here because you are actually finding plenty of the ARP Suzar.
Need them fruit.
I
the fruit
want
we have.
to also give you Meadow will find an Edrum. She'll find a dose of Edrum moss.
Somebody adding that, or do you want me to?
Has anyone been adding all your herbs to the group, Kitty?
Nikki did my first lot. I've done the second lot.
Okay.
I've added the ones I've picked up so far.
All right.
I had all the ones that I picked up.
Because I was
you were
stupid
looking
last
for
time.
poison. Oh, so you're probably looking for mushrooms too. Did I say what you found, Rose? All right. So what was it? D5 rook. All right. So we'll make that D5 poisonous mushrooms. So how many mushrooms did you get? All right. So
2.
So Roanique also found some mushrooms. Roll a D5 to see what level attack level. All right, perfect. So she finds 2 second level attack or second level poisonous mushrooms. Did I miss anyone's? Did Rory do a? Did I get one for Rory?
She rolled a d5, so I'm guessing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I already added it.
All right. How about Folan? Did you do any foraging that I might have missed? Or Arden, you're up in a tree, so you're not really. You're trying to hide.
Selena?
You're trying to do like Simba and pounce.
Can I shake the tree?
But Ronique's coming in there like Mufasa.
I wonder what the hell that was then.
All right, so you have managed to do some foraging.
It's Russell's missus.
On your as you're traveling 6 miles through the forest, and well, actually 2 miles initially. That's the whole day. So it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and you've gone about 2 miles carefully. You eventually do come to a spot where. What do you want to do when you see someone up in the tree? Are you pointing them out to everybody, or? All right, so they're all kind of like looking up at you, Arden. You're up in the tree, and they all kind of. I don't know. Is anybody going to stop and?
Well, I'm
make sure
going
he
to
doesn't
just.
fall out of the tree.
Well, I'm going to do acrobatic jump then in the dark.
Oh, great. Absolutely brilliant.
How high up did you climb?
Maybe in the middle part of the tree.
It's a 400-meter tall tree, though.
I'll tell you what. Let's. How high? They're pretty tall trees. Well, they're not that high up. All right, I'll say you're about 20 feet up in the tree.
Yeah,
How's that
something.
sound? 20 feet. So you
Yeah,
want
something
to
like that.
jump down from 20 feet?
Yeah.
All right, give me an acrobatics maneuver.
Any other whatever.
You want to do like a somersault on your way down or anything? Backflip.
Well, something epic anyway.
All right, so he wants to do something epic. All right, go ahead.
Any other water voice?
No.
Cram's going to put a bucket with a little bit of water at the bottom of the tree.
He's going to be
All
hurt.
right, so he just rolled a red box, which is normally a failed maneuver. You can. Hold on a second. Erky, roll another D100, and we have to subtract it from this.
D100, right?
Roll high. You definitely want to roll high. I'm just kidding. You really want to roll low. But...
type roll normal, right?
Open-ended.
Open-ended. Really low as possible.
I won't mind if you roll high. All right, so that's what, 39? Negative 39. All right, so now what you want to do, Erky, is you want to roll a fumble roll. Oh, wait. No, MM failure. MM failure. It's right after, it should be after martial arts. So it'll be
failure.
MM failure. And since you wanted to make it epic, I kind of made it a very hard maneuver. You were going to pretty much fail that almost no matter what. But so I think it's going to ask you difficulty. So difficulty is very hard. All right, so
45.
It could have been much worse. So 45. You stumble as you're getting ready to leap off of the branch that you were on. You have a 45% chance of falling. So roll a D100 normal.
What's that? 40 sounds or up.
45% chance of falling. So you need to roll over 45.
So I have to get about 30.
It would help.
So D100 and normal.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So you go to do this crazy, wild, acrobatic maneuver out of the tree to impress everyone on the ground. But you kind of stumble coming off the branch, but you miraculously manage to kind of catch your composure on the way down, since it's not too far, I guess, and you do land on your feet.
Oh,
Unlike the last time when you fell about, I don't know, what was that, like 200 feet?
maybe something that. Well, not too bad, Wrist.
I was probably pretty bad that last time, making that tree so high. I was much nicer this time. Okay, so
Well, don't write this in the home.
so
You realise this is being broadcast to the entire world, don't you, Erky?
you are going to be a star.
Yep.
All right. So we've made our first leg foraging rolls, right? And I didn't miss anything from anyone, did I? No. All right. So you are having a quick lunch, early lunch, or second breakfast, I guess the hobbits would call it.
So I don't need any healing up or anything.
Nope. You actually caught yourself on the way down. You just didn't manage to do that impressive epic maneuver you were trying to do. But you did definitely land well. A lot better than last time when Ronick had to jump under there and try to catch you.
Yeah. But so I don't need any healing, so that's good then.
Yeah, very good. All right, so you travel another 2 miles between 2 and 4, and if you would like, you can do some more whatever you want to do on this second leg. For example, foraging. Say, before anyone would be looking for me, I will be right back. All right. Now that's Alex? You're going to get something to eat, right? Or is that Roderick? I'm guessing it's probably Alex. All right. So Cram, let's say you find an Edrum. I should have actually given myself alternatives here.
Can we look for specific herbs that we've never heard before?
You can.
I'm looking for something with a health bonus. I don't know if that's what Edrum.
Edrum mends bone, but if you're specifically looking for something that like heals hit points.
Yeah.
All right. We'll say you find 1 to 5 doses of the Rook nodule instead of the.
Okay. 2 Rook nodules.
And Rory, are you looking for anything specific, Rory? I should ask. I mean, if you're looking for anything specific.
Are we in an area where we can find Winklement?
Let me peek. No. You are in a forested area, but the Winklement you're going to find in evergreens, and this is more of a deciduous forest.
Okay, well then just general healing stuff.
Deciduous, you say?
Deciduous.
Okay.
Oh, and I had that right up there. I don't know why I was looking at the other thing.
I think we should take a boat to our destination.
That would be a neat trick in this area. So, what did you say you were looking for specifically? Just something to heal hit points?
Yeah.
All right, so you'll find 1 to 5 doses of the. Hold on a second. Of the Rook nodule.
What is the temperature climate like here at the moment?
It's getting more of a cool kind of climate instead of the cold climate. I was doing cold climate because it's typically cold, decidedly cold, according to the module. But we're still getting snow.
So it's not going to be severe cold then, frigid.
No, not frigid. Cold and cool. I'm kind of going with cool and cold.
Damn it.
But there was something that I almost was going to put on here as a possibility, but it's frigid.
Are we in the second leg?
Yeah,
then?
that's something that I was looking for.
The second leg? Oh,
Yeah.
of today's? Yeah, you're in the second 4-hour period.
All right, I'm going to look for something Pacific, which is Arlen.
Arlen?
Arlen, yeah.
All right, I think I'm pretty sure I have that in here somewhere anyway, so... Or
Check something. Tall grass. I don't know if you get tall grass nearby. It's a cool temperature, tall grass. With my experience, I think we should get some around here. What's the last one on it?
Did I do Cram and Rory yet? As far as your most recent rolls?
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay, I see the D5 rolls.
While they're foraging in this, is this the third lot of foraging?
The second. Well, the first one was before you broke camp, and then the second one was the first 2 miles.
Yes.
Okay.
And then now you're on the third foraging roll, which is the second. The second. You do find, we'll say, in this area, coming through the forest, you find various spots where maybe there's a little tiny meadow or something with some grass is growing. So you will find, what was it you were looking for, Arlen?
Yeah, it's a healing herb.
Yeah, you'll find 1 to 5 doses of Arlen. Believe it or not, I have that coming up. I had it outside the forest, but you can find some in.
If I don't think I'm going to find what I was looking for, I'll make a last foraging check now.
That which you whispered to me?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 doses, John.
I wouldn't know, so I'll make a foraging check anyway.
All right.
I believe this is a ploy as well.
And then, if not, next time I'll just be cooking and preparing.
All right.
While people are foraging. Nope, I found shit.
All right.
I'm going to keep 2 doses on me and put.
Why has it got a minus 95 on that one? God,
probably because you have not seen it before.
Oh, quite possibly.
All right. So, Ren, anyone else? How much for next level up?
Yeah, because I was on level 3 or level 4. I got level 3. Yeah, level 3 or what.
Didn't we just level you up last week?
Yeah, I am level 3 right now.
Yeah.
It's like 3 sessions fair.
Yeah, you'll need 2 more sessions after today, and then you'll be up to level 4.
Well, is that going to take too long then?
No.
I'll just wait to get to level 5 so I can use more better for my 2 weapon.
You foraged, right? Did you forage? Did either one of you forage for the second 4-hour period? All right.
Oh, I don't know if Meadow did or not. I didn't bother rolling it.
I don't know if either one of them did, to be honest with you.
I can roll Meadows if you want.
Have we got any tarp left?
Knowing her, she's probably in Facebook.
She's probably watching the game or...
Yeah, watching some games.
Is there still some tarpaulin left?
How much are you looking for?
Enough to make a parachute for Erky.
Hey, John, I just realised I've got that herb down twice, you know.
He might need it. All right, so Meadow, you will find an Edram moss. And Roanique, you will find an Arfondus. Stem. I didn't put stem. It is stem. Let me see. Stem.
That Arlen, John, it's got 2 different purposes. There's a root and there's the leaf.
Yes.
So the leaf is an apply heal 4 to 9. You've got it on your list as
right.
Healing 1d6 plus 3, which I think you've got it down as a wild plant.
Arlen, yes, 4 to 9 hits. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, but it's also Arlen's also a route that is a +20 resistance to common cold,
Okay.
speed recovery. I just thought I'd mention it because it's on the herb list I've got here twice. One for general purpose herb and one for
Oh,
constitution relief.
wait, is one of them? One of them should be Arthond. Arthond should be. Hold on a second. Let me look at Arthond again because they might be mixed up.
It might be a spell thingy from the first.
The Arthond, Arthond, which is a root. That's a decongestant. Resistance roll +20 versus common cold. Quintuples the healing rate from respiratory illness. Is that the one you were mentioning?
That's the one, yeah.
All right, that one should be Arthond and not Arlen. Arlen is.
So it's a typo in the book, isn't it?
Oh, is that
wow, Pop?
Oh
yeah.
no, you found a typo. You found a typo. I made a typo. Are you kidding me?
Not you.
Oh.
It's actually in the original first edition book.
Oh, I feel much better.
So it's a mistake Dave made.
Well,
that's all right.
Far be it from me to. I
don't notice things like that very often,
but you do. You find a few mistakes here and there, but still.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to call Russell a mistake.
Cheers, Reggie. Love you too, mate.
Oh, let me see, Meadow. Did you do you already did your foraging. I did your foraging. Arden is okay. Arden, what exactly were you trying to do with your meditation attempt?
Just meditating something, but it wasn't not that good.
I'm loving these red boxes you're giving me. Go ahead and roll a D100 open-ended, and we'll subtract it from the 11.
This is going to be lovely.
Oh, that poor guy. His parachute never opened.
You do.
Sorry.
Okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad at all, really. All right, so we'll say general. Your utter incompetence causes a mental lapse. Any static actions attempted during the next 10 minutes will result in failure. So you're all right. It didn't do no long-lasting effects. So for 10 minutes, you're just kind of like you just can't think straight. Just
right.
like having a mental block. You're just like zoning out. Kind of looks like you're meditating, but you're just in a different zone. So you did well on that second roll.
So not too bad, at least.
No, not bad at all. So are we rolling on the third leg? It's about 2:00 in the afternoon. You have lunch. Find some more stuff.
Have we actually moved anywhere?
Rowanik, you have. You are actually you are approximately where Arden is standing.
So we've gone one hex.
Yeah, you've moved. Actually, yes, you have gone one hex, and you're going to be, after this roll, you're going to be probably about there. Ro?
So we need to reduce the foraging.
Were you... You can.
I don't know how long we've got to get to where we need to go.
You're still good. Let me see here. I think you're on like the 20... You're on the 21st, so you've got about 9 or 10 days to get to where you're going. You're just in
we can keep it this pace. We can do 2 hexes a day.
Right. When you were doing your foraging, were you looking for anything specific? I didn't ask. So you were looking... Okay, so scratch that last Edram moss. Are you sure? All right, because the Edram's good stuff. So Rowanik's looking for more poisonous mushrooms. So you will have found more. Go ahead.
Hang on.
Yes, so scratch one Edram that would have been very useful. I don't know how many Edram you have.
Is she destroying the mushrooms when she finds them?
What are you doing with your mushrooms when you find them? What did you do with the mushrooms you found last time? Did we do anything with those? She has no idea.
Just wondering.
Do you remember how many mushrooms you found?
She found 2 level 2.
And did we paste those up or just kind of collect them? I'm not sure if you did anything with those. You can kind of collect them and do everything all at once if you want. All right, so you go ahead and do another D5 roll.
Really bad roll again.
All right, so you find one dose of. Do another D5 roll. Of level of mushrooms, attack level 2. So she has another dose of the same mushrooms. Arden, whatever you are trying to do tactically, it's not working. And whatever you're doing with your mushrooms, you're doing a fine job with.
Can we put that minus 95 on Meadows to find out what I wanted?
I have to look at that again. I didn't really finish looking at that. Oh, yeah, well, that one's going to be almost impossible to find. You kind of really need to be like in a wasteland, kind of like maybe further north in the northern waste area, maybe. Actually, let me see. Was that frigid too? Yeah, you almost need to be up near Angmar, kind of. Probably up. Maybe I'd say if you guys were up in this area here-ish, maybe.
Volcanic?
Or actually, yeah, well, like way up.
That's not that far. Birds can fly that far and shit.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking. Oh yeah, no. I'm sorry. It would be more like.
Are you a bird, Reggie?
Up in here. So.
That's how seeds are passed, Russell.
We know.
All right. So we did all of our foraging on the last leg.
I think you missed Rory.
Okay, so these last two from Rory and Cram were new ones, right? All right. So Cram, you're gonna find one dose of Edram. We're gonna say.
There was a.
I'm not sure how much Edram you have, but you're going to.
Oh yeah, there was my cookery as well.
Some.
Sorting mushrooms.
All right.
Yeah, he said that worked fine.
And then Rory, the same thing. You also find a dose of Edram. Trying to think what else.
How many doses? Just one?
One dose. So two between you and Cram. You found two more.
Okay.
What was that you found? Was it Willamette or something like that?
No.
Winclammet.
Fruit.
No, but that was a really nice try.
7. Extremely hard.
So we're looking for cold.
Cool, cold.
Evergreen.
Scrub.
Deciduous. You could maybe find something scrub.
Short or tall grass?
Short or tall. I'd say you could come across a meadow here or there. I mean, there's going to be grass growing in the forest. It doesn't even have to be a meadow, but you may also find a small stream here and there where you can search banks of a small stream. There's no river or anything up here, but you're definitely going to find some drinkable water.
So we have CS,
all right.
CT, and CC.
If you want, Erky, you could. Are you trying to practice your 2-weapon combo?
Yeah, those.
All right, so go ahead and roll a TWC.
Tackle status normal, right?
Yeah.
And Abduravi says he was properly.
Say that again.
Abduravi says he was no. And how many feet over then I have what? 0.
0.
And no other modifiers.
0. All right, so you're fumbling around with it. You're not actually attacking anybody, so it's not a difficult thing to do. But let me just make sure you're not cutting yourself up or anything. No, you're doing all right. You don't quite have the hang of what you're doing. You're still kind of working on that left hand thing, but you're getting some practice in there. You didn't.
So,
You didn't
yeah, so
pull
it
your weapons or completely fail the
so it
TWC check.
so I don't need to roll the 100 already.
No. Now the only time you're going to have to follow that up with a D100 is if you roll a red box, and then we subtract it. So you're good.
Right. Yeah. So nothing bad
Well,
now.
honestly, you didn't. It's you're just practicing. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
hold on a second. I might have made it too easy. Yeah, you're fine. I mean, anyone watching you can tell that you don't have a lot of experience swinging the blades together. Maybe you're just having a hard time handling the axe in the left hand, but you're learning.
Yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah. I'm using the short sword on the other hand at the same time.
Yes.
But it's getting better at least.
All right. So, unless I missed anyone's roll or anything, you have traveled about 6 miles through the forest, found various herbs, and the sun is going down. I'm assuming that you want to camp for the night.
Just outside the forest.
All right. It's you're kind of working your way
We
outside the
We
forest,
can make it.
and you're kind of like in the middle of the length of the forest, but you could maybe be more on the northern edge. Where is that what you want to do? You kind of want to camp outside the forest.
Yeah.
All right. So you set up camp.
Let's cover for the enemies.
How about let's go ahead and set up a watch.
Is it Swiss?
I observed just to see if there was any area that seemed more safe than another.
Yeah, you find a nice, suitable place for camping. Pretty defensible area.
I'll go to the nearest tree and disappear.
All right, so Ren, and you're going to be on watch.
Yeah, I'll be on first watch.
All right, so
And I'll just
first
keep
watch.
I'm happy to go
I'll
on a
stay
watch.
hidden in tree
We need
form.
eyes for darkness.
All right, so first watch is going to be Rand. Who else? Second watch.
I'll volunteer.
I'm one of there also.
All right, so Rend and Arden.
What race was Gimmeltart? Is he human?
Gimmelcod.
Dwarf.
Gimmelcart.
He is.
Dwarf.
He is a black Numenorian.
Alright, so he'll do first watch as well.
All right, Rand, Arden, Gimmelcod. How about second watch? Ro? You want second or third? Actually, you can do 2 watches because you're an elf. You only need to meditate for a couple of hours. So, what do you want to do? Second and third? All right. So, Ro.
I'll go on second.
All right. Do you want second or do you want third, Nikki? Do you want like 8 solid hours of sleep? Or do you want to have it have it broken up into 4 pieces? I mean, two pieces of 4. You want to take which one, second and third? Or I mean third. Yeah. So you'll sleep for the first.
Yeah, I'll do third and sleep for the 8 hours.
Okay. So third watch will be Ro, Rory, Meadow. Where's Edig at in watches?
Hiding.
First or third? I'm good. Actually, here.
Hiding.
All right, hiding. And which watch did you want? While you're hiding? Ooh, you put away on it.
You're suggesting that I want to watch.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to.
I'll take one.
So Edic's hiding.
I'll go on the third watch.
All right. So he's going to go on the third watch.
If they wake me up.
With the hobbits. And Ro.
Oh, you didn't tell me I was with the hobbits.
Gimmelcod, Arden, Rand. I'll say Folan will probably go on that first watch as well.
I'll go second then.
And then it'll be Ro and Cram. Am I missing anybody? And Rook. Rook will be on second watch.
Is also
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's everybody. All right, so let's go ahead and do Somebody go ahead and give me an avoidance roll.
D100?
Yeah.
Meadow failed it.
Oh, good lord! Is that the roll?
Can't believe Meadow would do that.
All right, let's see here. I don't usually use this
So
much.
she wanted us to find something.
So, important creations. Random encounter calculator. Party size. Sunday party size. Oh my goodness. This says including Rook and Soul. That can't be right anymore. All right, let's count everybody up here. Rowanique's an elf. She counts as half. Hobbits count as half. So that's 1.5. Hold on. Here we go. Rand is human. All right, let me see. Where do I have that? I think elves, hobbits, and is it rangers? No. Do rangers count as half? Let me check here. I can't believe I don't remember this. Rangers, elves, and hobbits. Okay, so I don't think we have any rangers anymore. So
We did have, but unfortunately, he died being brave.
He ran off.
Rand, Arden, Gimmelcod, Folan.
The French elf was a ranger.
You were a ranger. Dragon was a ranger.
Rook,
Yeah, like anybody actually do that.
Rory and Meadow. Row. So
I remember getting told that the elves were the rangers, so they should deal with the rangery stuff.
I remember that. All right, so your group size will be. Are we counting the animals? We won't count. We won't count the animals. Do you guys count animals?
I thought you were counting animals as half last time each.
All right, so we'll count them as half.
I know the two horses I've got on my cart are huge.
That's true.
Because they're heavy horses. So technically you should count those as one each, and there's two of them, so.
Yeah, so yeah, your party size would be more
like 17.
Pretty decent size. I'll say with the characters, it's going to be like 7 with Rook and the 4 horses. We're talking maybe 5 more, 4.5 more. So Rook would make it maybe 8. No, if I count him as half, it'd be 7, and then we'll count the 4 horses each as a whole. So that'll be 11. I haven't used this thing in a while. So you are in forest. Actually, you're in rough and forest. Oh wait, you're out in the open though, right? You wanted to get outside the forest? Or not really?
Yeah, well, on the edge of the forest.
Okay, so you're still kind of in the forest. We're gonna say not patrolled, night inhabited. We'll put that in there. Party is not actively searching for anything. You're not traveling. You're in camp after traveling 12 hours. Party size. We made 11, right? And you're not traveling. So, counter roll was what? 58. And the avoidance roll was 2. So, that's terrible. Let me see if I missed anything. I'm going to say you're not exactly encountered, but you can hear in the distance. Yeah. During the first round, Ren, Arden, Gimmelcod, and Folan You hear what sounds like galloping horses in the distance, off to the northeast of the forest. Just sounds like a lot of heavy horsemen.
I will report this to the rest of the group.
Right. But nothing.
Did I hear anything about for those horses? So
Let's see. What you hear is Rend reporting to the party that he hears the horses. I'll say that you definitely you can hear them. You don't actually have any encounter. It's just you can hear distance. Maybe almost even feel like you hear very, very distant rhythmic beating of drums. Just a slow kind of boom, boom, doom, doom kind of. Yeah. All right. And actually, I'm going to make that one encounter for the entire night because no encounters tonight. So, but you do have your watch set, so that's good. If you want, we can just continue to use that same watch order. All right. So you wake up in the morning on, let's see, the 22nd, and it is really nice. It's 74 degrees. I mean, it's getting hot now. You just jumped up about 34 degrees from yesterday, and the sun is shining, and there are fluffy clouds floating in the breeze. What would you like to do in the morning?
I'm trying to cook
You don't even have your
something for
first
me.
breakfast yet. What are you trying to do?
Cooking something. At least I'm trying to. Let's see how good this is going to be.
Oh, that was Ronique. I thought that was you, Erky. So you're making an observation?
No, but I'm going to cook something.
Seems very peaceful. Seems like
anyone fancy a mushroom omelette?
Mushroom omelet. Graham foraging.
Let it bad one.
Arden might have actually made a mushroom omelette.
His dice are terrible tonight. You see how many red boxes he's had already?
He's had 3, I think. Give me a D100 open-ended, Erky.
This not going to end well.
This might not end well. Right,
those are the words of the one sentence Erky hears every session. Poor Erky.
All right, so you fail spectacularly.
I'm not eating anything he cooks anyway.
You're so confident in your cooking abilities that you just tear it right up. Go ahead and give me a poison resistance roll, Erky.
Oh man.
Let me see here.
Poison, right?
Actually, first, before you do, give me a D4 roll. That'll make it easy for you.
D4, right?
1D4. Since you're doing the cooking, let's see how potent. Okay, not too bad. Now give me a poison resistance roll.
So now the poison resistance.
Yes.
And no other modifiers.
Come on, another red box.
No other modifiers.
Nah, he's kidding. Oh, maybe not.
No. All right. So you are poisoned.
You have dysentery.
This isn't the Oregon Trail.
I'll tell you what. It's a pretty low level, so I'm going to make it a tiny critical. Let's see here, Erky.
I really love those criticals.
All right. So fortunately for you, you only have heartburn. You take 3 hits. You don't have to bother taking those 3 hits because they'll be gone by the time we get to the next leg anyway. So you have a little bit of heartburn from some nasty food that you made, and nobody wants to eat your cooking.
But yeah, probably that
It might be
is
the
best.
purple fizzing lumps. I'm just saying.
I like how you say it's only heartburn.
Well, it's very mild. It could have been a lot worse. Fortunately for his attack level, he only rolled a 1, so it wasn't too potent. Actually, so we are on the 22nd. Let me check these foraging rolls.
I've done a foraging roll, but I am looking for a
I think
bone mending herb.
All right, so you will find a dose
Idram.
of Edram.
Okay, I'll put that in the kitty.
Cram, are you looking for anything specific?
again health points.
All right, so you will find 1 to 5 doses of Rook Nodule.
I got 2, I think so.
And Folin, are you looking for anything specific? Like you're just doing like a perception roll, right? You're not actually foraging?
I got that.
Folin?
Uh,
Yeah, I look for enemies.
so
Just
All
for
right, so
enemies.
yeah, so you don't see any enemies, but you do feel like you kind of hear like a rumble in the ground, kind of almost sounds like
Zerky's good.
galloping horses.
Let
Uh,
everyone know
Guts.
that I hear horses in the distance, and I know I feel the tremble.
All right, excellent.
John, I'm going to just practice with my sword and
So whatever Meadow's doing with the cookery, that's successful. And you're practicing with your swords. Edic cooks a meal for himself and the midgets. That's coming out pretty fine. Ren, did I give you your foraging?
Ooh.
I did. Okay, so hold on. Let me see. I don't think that I do. Who's did I miss up there? Cram, Roni. Okay, so let's see. Slide down here. Meadow. Edict's cooking. Rand, I gave you your foraging. Poison. Meadow, foraging. Are you looking for anything specific, Meadow? No? Okay, so you find 1 to 5 doses of Rook.
So, John, how good was my practice? Was my practice now?
Rory, are you looking for anything specific, Rory?
Like Arlen or Darsurian, something that
All right.
can be applied.
All right. So I will say you will find 1 to 5 doses of Arlen. TWC check. You're getting a little bit better, or at least you look a little better with your 2-weapon combo today. Just be careful you don't accidentally hit anybody.
Yeah. Although I need to roll D100 that I will not hit anyone.
No, you're good. You're good. If you get a red
Don't
box,
give
you
him
don't have
ideas.
to. I know, right? Next red box he gets on one of those, he might hit somebody in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Who are you standing the closest to when you're practicing?
Not to me.
Erky. When Arden is practicing with the blades, who does he usually stay the closest to?
Near Ronick.
Only the hobbits because there's less height.
I'm waiting to hear Cram.
Just keep asking until the Cram is the answer.
Are you standing close to anybody, Erky, while Arden is practicing with the blades?
Oh well, he's gone.
Who do you usually like to hang out with?
Pretty much maybe Ronick and Roderick.
All right.
Yeah, I think so.
So if he hits anybody, I'll do a 1d2. Bro, you can be odd and Alex can be even. All right. So let's see. So we're pulling out, and you are going to actually, during the course of this day, you're going to travel. Well, let's just move you 2 miles for now. So you're like at the edge of this. So, well, actually, you're kind of here. but you're still in the forest. And you've gone 2 miles through rough and... Something ain't right here. No, I guess you're kind of making your way through the whole thing now. So you exit the forest area. You can see across the open plains before you, approximately 8 miles ahead, there are cliffs rising to the left, cliffs rising to the right, and kind of in between those sets of cliffs, you see another more intimidating cliff rising slightly higher above the other two, kind of in the middle. And it would seem that the tracks that you've been following since escaping Troll's End are heading directly for that center cliff, or that set of cliffs. And there's like a separation between the three, almost as if there are ravines going left and right. So, but you can barely see the separations. Actually, Rowan 8 could probably see much better because it's a beautiful day out and she could see for miles. But you can definitely see the cliffs ahead. And the tracks seem to be going directly toward them. And it is about 10 o'clock in the morning. And I apologize to my viewers. I forgot I was recording. I didn't mean to be stuffing my face in the camera.
So how well I know where the tracks
Don't
are
worry,
now
viewers.
going?
We have to put up with this all the time.
Especially
Usually
when I'm
moldy.
crunching what, moldy snacks?
Moldy snacks.
What the hell was I eating that one time? Something was bad. I can't remember what it
Something-
was.
Oh, but you carried on.
What bothered us is you carried on eating
I
it
did
even
keep-
though it was a mouldy snack.
I did. I kept
Pu-
eating whatever it was.
Puby biscuits.
Oh, good
You
lord.
kept eating mushrooms.
Your tracking roll is awesome. You can easily, and it probably helps that there's been a lot of rain the last few days, and it's still pretty muddy out. But it's a beautiful, beautiful day. You can still easily pick up the tracks, though, and you can follow right across the plain. As far as observations, you don't actually you don't, and it's wide open. You don't see anything for as far as any of you can see. You don't see any sign of anything other than maybe animals moving, birds flying in the sky, and you are free to roll. Are we going to go ahead and stroll across the plains?
Yeah, we probably going to
assuming you're
cross the plains.
Still going to kind of keep a relatively stealthy maneuver or kind of movement.
Yeah.
So we will go ahead and move you 4 miles between 10 and 2. And if anyone like to do any foraging.
So do I need to roll now the stealth roll? The
No,
stealth
you don't
roll.
have to. Not for like a. For this, I just kind of do. It just determines how fast you can move across the terrain that you're in. You don't actually have to do any stealth rolls unless you're kind of.
I'm going to use the secondary skill foraging for hunting.
All right.
Right, what I'm going to do is find myself a very straight stick, do some blacksmithing, and fix the stick to my nice little spearhead I've still got.
All right.
I'm looking for something I haven't seen before.
So I'll do a foraging to find a straight stick, or straightest stick.
All
And
right.
I'll do a blacksmithing to see if I can attach the head to it. Is that okay?
Yeah. So let's see. Foraging for Rory. Anything specific? Or
Just some healing stuff.
general? All right. So you find 1 to 5 doses of aloe. Meadow, anything specific? All right. You find an edrum moss.
That's,
Edig, you're looking for. You're hunting, is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So you have a very nice hunt as you're going. You like I said, you saw some animals during your travel, and you took off after one of them, chased him down with your chariot, and maybe say I don't know, a rabbit. Sound good?
John.
A nice big beefy rabbit. Yes. Oh, Erky. Oh my God. You got another red box.
Yeah.
Snap the rope in two.
Do I roll?
You're gonna end up.
himself.
You're gonna
Has he
hang
hung
yourself.
himself?
You're gonna hang yourself.
Well, let's see.
Give me a D100 open ended. You're gonna bloody hang yourself. Here it is. He's garroting himself. Not too bad, but
Still a minus 37.
yeah. So
Tries to cover it up by pretending he's skipping.
Why my rope skill is so bad?
Irk, go ahead and give me a. Let's see here. Where are you, Erky? That's probably you right there. Give me a fumble roll. No. No. That's for weapons. Stop. Not that. That's not what I want. What did I make this? Oh wait. Failure. Crap. The heck did I make it? Hold on. Fate. All the baseballs club combo criticals. It's not a fumble because that's just and it's not a moving maneuver failure. Well, actually, it's not a moving maneuver failure, but it's going to be the same roll. So yeah, I should just make that a failure instead of an MM failure. Yeah. So I'm not exactly 100% sure what you were trying to do.
I was going to try to make some new ropes for them if needed.
All right. So I'd have to say that would probably be light.
So do I roll the new 100 was?
Oh wait. I'm sorry, Erky. I was looking at the moving maneuver chart. I'm so used to you failing moving maneuvers. I was looking at you were actually doing a static maneuver, so you just failed spectacularly. Whatever you were doing, whatever you were working with, the materials, you screwed them up so bad, they're actually useless now. So there's no need for you to roll a moving maneuver failure.
At least I did not have my sword.
No, you're good. I'm sorry.
Good for now.
For now, until you roll again. Let's see, Cram. Did I give you your foraging? I don't think I did. Were you looking for anything specific, Cram?
I'm back.
Oh,
sorry.
Back.
He's back, and the girls are waiting.
I was looking for anything that I haven't found before. Really, just something.
Kind of looking for something new.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. What did you get? 133.
Yeah.
33. Okay. Hold on a second. I can work with this. And you're out in the open.
So how well now was going my practice with 2-level combo? Because I want 27.
Hold on just a sec, Erky. Let me see what Cram might find. But it had to be something that you have seen before, just not today. Okay, how about if I say you find... I don't think you found Arfondus yet, so we'll say you found an Arfondus stem. Just looking for something different. But
just one.
Something that you have seen before. Otherwise, I got to do a minus 95 to that, which means you're not going to find.
Well, I might get a better rolling because I put no for things I'd seen before.
Right.
Does that make a difference?
Wait, no. Oh, you put no. So you had you had a minus 95 in there. Oh, you did have a minus 95. Oh, in that case, hold on. All right, so in that case, it could be something that you haven't seen before.
Something with life giving.
Can I just say, at this point, if I found a herb or something I've never found before, I would never put it straight in my mouth because I'm not stupid. Under any circumstances.
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah. So should anybody else who controls this character.
Have you found an Arlen leaf at all lately?
I couldn't tell you, John.
But you've seen an Arlen, so hold on, we won't use that. Now, why don't we do this? You haven't, I don't think you've seen this. You're looking for something different. I'm going to say you find a dose of Atanar moss. It's a moss, so you kind of feel like it looks like Edrum a little bit.
Yeah.
So you think you found some Edrum, but it's actually Atanar moss, Attanar. I don't know if you have. Well, you have the book, right? And it should be in the book.
Yeah.
So if you have the Herbalist Guide, you will see that it cures fever. Not extremely useful, but maybe, I don't know, or he might poison himself, or Arden might poison himself and come down with a fever, and he might need it.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Rand, you were foraging for
a good piece of wood.
All right. I'll say, as you were coming out of the forested area, kind of near the edge, there are a decent amount of solid branches laying around here and there that you could easily take a nice straight piece and maybe work that into a good solid shaft.
Okay.
With a little bit of woodworking, maybe.
I don't have woodworking, so I will find somebody in the party who does have woodworking. Meadow, and get her to straighten it out and make it look all nice and pretty. And then I will use my blacksmithing to burn the end in camp later on and attach it so it hardens the wood.
You ain't even in Roll20. I can see in your glasses. I can see the reflection of your screen. You weren't even in Roll20 because I just saw your glasses light up. It was no. Oh, you're gonna blame Reggie? No, oh, you're gonna blame Russ? She's blaming you. She is somehow blaming you, mate.
How the?
Yeah, right.
Her glasses lit up because she saw a picture of Russell in Discord. That's all.
I could see the screen change from whatever she was looking at to the map. All right, so all right, so Meadow's going to climb up in the wagon and work on that shaft. Oh, that didn't sound good. All right.
Yes, I thought this was meant to be all PG.
Yes, so she's going to craft. She's going to try to straighten that out and carve it and make it really nice. Yes, Erky.
I was practice more of what I do with a go by, and I got 27.
Yeah, you're just fumbling with the blades a little bit, but you're keeping them in your hands. You're not hurting anybody. You're just kind of like walking along beside the wagon, and you are continuing to practice, looking relatively inept, but you are practicing, and it's
well, it's good that
you'll be improving.
Yeah, but so good that I'm not hurting anyone yet.
Right, and as you advance in level, those will actually increase. They'll get better and better and better. Trust me. I noticed.
Did you do a roll without a red box around it?
He did. He actually got one with no red.
Wow.
All right. So you do manage to move 4 miles during the course of all of the herb searching. You'll go another 4 miles. Or do you want to do anything during this 4-mile stretch?
I am just keep practicing on this.
All right. Roderick is observing. Looking for anything specific? Just bad guys, maybe? Go
For enemies.
ahead and roll again.
Oh, very nice.
You're doing better with the blades this time around, Erky.
Cool.
So I roll again or
Yes,
what?
you will roll again. All right, so you kind of feel like there's something dreadful as you get closer and closer to the cliffs, but
So I see anything
as you
also.
focus more and you're trying to like look ahead, you really can't. You kind of like lose your focus. Maybe you're kind of you got Arden over there swinging his blades, and maybe he's just messing up your mojo. Oh, let's see here. We got. Let me see.
I don't believe I'm doing much at the moment, so.
Observing, foraging. Rory, were you foraging for anything specific?
We'll do aloe. We always seem to run out of that, I guess.
All right, so you do actually find. I'm going to say, since you are specifically looking for it, and that would be what's there with your result, I'll say you do find 5 doses, not D5, but 5 for sure. Roderick, Arden, you kind of feel the hairs on the back of your neck standing up a little bit as you guys get closer and closer to this cliff. You kind of start to feel a little nervous. Meadow, give me a D100 open-ended. We'll subtract it from that 78. And the torch is observing. Where the hell does the torch come from?
Well, it says cram next to it, so.
All right, not so bad, Meadow. You just well, actually, it's bad enough. Let me see. So minus 20.
I did not now find the tracks what we are following properly.
Meadow, give me a perception roll. For other mods, just put 30. Yeah.
Is Meadow bringing more mushrooms back?
She's finding I don't know, something maybe like some spring onions.
Oh shit!
You find out there. So, perception under primary. Sorry, I moved everything into. I kind of wanted to consolidate a bunch of buttons, and I still have a ton of buttons up there. Meadow. Perception. Put 30 for other mods. So you pull some onions out of the ground and you think about eating them, but something just gives you the idea that they won't make a very tasty meal. Kind of maybe give you some rot gut. So you don't eat them, but you are hungry, as is normal for a hobbit. Roanique, you what are you looking for? Anything specific? Okay, so you have better vision than everybody else, so you can see up ahead where the 2 cliffs on the left and the right, and one cliff kind of up higher, but in the center, you can kind of see what appears to be a group of horsemen disappearing into the left ravine, and just kind of, and you can kind of hear the rumble thunder of their horses' hooves. All right, so she's going to relay that information that she sees a like a patrol of mounted cavalry.
I'm guessing me and Rowan didn't see anything.
Let's see here. Where
we both got 132.
Oh, and Eda, you would maybe more hear than actually see. Maybe you could kind of see some smoke in the distance rising from maybe all the dust that they were. Oh, actually, there wouldn't probably be a whole lot of dust because it's been raining. So scratch the whole smoke. But you could hear. Maybe we'll say you can hear. You can hear what she sees. And the torch. Was the torch looking for anything specific?
I was just looking to see if there was anything I could see to help the other
You
guys.
see a torch. No, yeah, you kind of hear the same thing. In fact, probably most of you can hear the rumble of the horse's hooves as you get closer and closer to the cliffs, the mountains. Not high mountains, but you're getting closer to the range of mountains. So what else am I missing? Meadow, same observation. Ardent, for some reason or other, you can't hear the horses anymore. You can't pick up the tracks anymore. You're just I think you're more focused on mastering your two weapons.
Yeah, probably that.
Grandpa
Well, I'm
sucks.
going to roll the honor super combo.
All right. So you travel that last 4 miles and you arrive at the base. Well, say you saw the horse riders as you were approaching. And you're kind of going pretty slow, and for some reason,
Alright, red box!
What?
Erky.
Oh my god. Ronique, I hope you've got a helmet on.
There's a guy on a YouTube. I don't know. Maybe most of you have heard of Critical Role. There's a guy on there. I swear, Erky rolls worse than he does. I can't even think of that guy's name that used to always roll the ones or roll really bad rolls. I can't remember his name, but he was an actor. He played in the movie with the kids. Stephen King. Stand By Me.
Wheaton.
Yes, Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, yeah.
I
Will Wheaton.
believe that Erky has
Such
From
an
Star
ass.
Trek.
Yes, I think Erky has
One of the
dice than
worst
he
people
does.
I've ever met.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, he's horrible.
We have to keep that in mind. We don't need to meet him then.
Do I need to roll the D1 horror?
I probably won't meet anybody unless they come to the hotel. Yes, Erky, you actually do a D100 open-ended. Erky, you do spice the game up. I have to admit, you really do spice the game up with your red boxes. So you're doing 2-weapon combo. And who? Go ahead. Well, actually, before you do that, well, no, do that first. Go ahead. Roll your D100 open-ended.
And no other modifiers.
No.
He said he stands near Ronique and somebody else that wasn't Cram.
Damn.
All right. So
almost one.
Just so we're clear, I am 100 feet away from Orky.
Phone staying as far away as he can.
I just want to say that Rory constantly stays away from Arden.
Yeah, as does Cram.
I have no problem. I'm driving the car.
Cram hasn't trusted him from the very beginning.
What about Ronique?
Ronique was the person he mentioned earlier.
Are you keeping your distance while he's swinging those blades? All right, so everybody's trying to stay away from you. So whatever you roll here, this is all you.
So,
I don't care, because if he hurts me, I'll hurt him back.
This is great. We're just about to walk into the biggest battle we've ever walked into, and we're about to have a fight between Arden and Edic.
So do a moving maneuver failure, the MM failure button.
I'm failure.
And just hit medium. I've been making it medium, so I haven't been making it a hard thing for you to practice, although I could be, but...
There's going to be fun. 72.
Alright.
Is high bad?
High's bad. I mean, the higher, the worse. So, 72.
Oh, God.
You slip. You have a 75% chance of falling and you're stunned 2 rounds. Go ahead and roll a D100 normal. There's got to be something else here.
89.
All right. You don't fall.
You die.
But, there should be something more to that. You drop your weapons, and everybody just kind of looks at you like, "What the heck are you doing?" But that could have been a lot worse.
Well, I'm going to collect my weapons. As I'm saying, well, maybe the practice are enough for the day.
Yeah, maybe not two-handed weapons anymore. Maybe just use what you're good at.
That could have been
Good.
so much worse. And even if you would have fallen, you would have just fell down to the ground from where you were standing. So there was very little hope of you getting hurt with that roll. But it's funny. All right, so you arrive at the base of the small cliff to the left, and the road leads up into a pass ahead, kind of up and to the right. You can also see, well, actually, you weren't on the road, but you can see where the road comes up from the south, and it goes up kind of, actually, I have to look here. No, the road is actually going to kind of go toward the right, but you can see that there's like a path that goes up into the ravine, kind of leading up into the ravine to the left. The sun is falling quickly from the sky, and you can find, if you would like, it's about 6 o'clock at night, you can find a solid place to camp for the night. Nestled in the rocks at the base of the cliff, far enough away from the road and any approaching danger.
I say we set camp. What about you guys?
I'm camping, but nowhere near Arden.
All right, so you set camp. Is anyone doing anything?
I
More
just
than
hold an observation to see if there is any ambush or any enemy approaching us.
All right.
And
you...
Yeah, I am just going to keep watch.
Okay, so all during the night.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Just gonna do 2 quick rolls.
I'm going to hide in a tree.
Skinning's good. And actually, there are no trees.
Damn it, John!
I couldn't resist.
Hide
Meadow,
behind,
could you
hide
do
behind
a,
the rock.
It's pretty
Hide behind
much
the
Could
rock.
you,
very rocky area right now.
Meadow, could you do a wood crafting roll for me?
He wants you to craft
need
a
an-
tree.
I need you to make a shaft for me. What? That's what they're called.
I agree. That's exactly what I said earlier.
Excuse me.
And
No, what you said earlier was slightly different.
it was slightly, but I think I meant the same thing. All right, so Roderick is trying to hide behind a large rock. Cookery is good.
I am going to find the road trick.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go nowhere near Roderick.
During the night, during each watch, you can hear the sounds of horsemen just kind of going up into the ravine. Occasionally, you might hear a group of them coming down out of the ravine and heading south. You just hear lots of horsemen passing in the night, all during your watches. In this area, during your time in the camp down here, do you plan on doing anything else?
I need Meadow to make a roll for me, but I don't think she's listening. She's too busy.
I'm looking. See, I was looking in the glasses, and roll 20 wasn't in there.
I know, it's terrible.
Do the horsemen sound like they're on their own or in groups every time?
Doesn't
They're
like
in
me.
groups. It sounds probably like about a dozen in each group, like a dozen horse riders in each patrol that goes by.
And how close do they get to us?
I'd say maybe within a quarter mile, maybe.
Nice.
Quarter mile.
So not close enough to see us, but maybe.
Thank you, Meadow Edict /
Meadow.
Shut up! It was Meadow.
Meadow has done a pretty fine job straightening that out and
Shafting you.
carving off any lumps and bumps and any miscellaneous defections or is malformation the word? Or
I'm now going to harden the wood by putting it over the heat
all
and
right.
turning slowly, putting it back through, and then I'm going to attach it to the head of my spear, or my spearhead to the head, over the heat, over the fire.
Over the fire. Oh. So
Yes,
So you have a fire going?
I don't know. Do we have a fire going?
No, we don't have a fire going.
No, I won't be doing that then.
I
will be.
Don't know what you're talking about. I'm cooking.
We have a fire.
Oh wait, you have a fire.
Because if we're cooking, we have a fire.
Oh, God.
So yes,
I'm cooking rabbit.
I am going to say that you somehow successfully managed to keep that fire low and well out of sight.
So I only need a bit of heat on the wood to harden it anyway.
How regularly do the patrols
on the fire so we don't have enemies coming
John.
to
Say
us?
that, but Aki's just thrown as much extra firewood on the fire as he could.
How?
Yeah, I was trying to cook something.
It's just flambéed something.
Erky, did you not get rid of those mushrooms?
I will keep
Probably
Aki away.
not. Probably not.
Maybe.
I will keep Aki away from the fire until I finished.
All right.
And I finished.
He must have picked up those onions Ronique tried to throw away. Or was that who found onions? That was Meadow. All right. So Erky. Ooh, 30. Well, you fail. Whatever you're trying to cook, just it tastes so foul you don't even want to eat it.
John, did I attach your head of my spear to the stick? Okay.
I would say that you have attached the head of the spear to the stick. Together, because the shaft didn't have the same fine crafting as the one that you bought in Rivendell. It won't be, the whole entire product won't be as fine as the one you bought in Rivendell. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
Say it is a +5. You have managed to put it back together, and you have a +5 spear.
That doesn't work, because the head's the +15, not the actual shaft.
I was giving good solid shaft work too. I'm terrible.
Meadow did a decent job on that.
It was got 149, which is stupidly high.
I'll say it's a +10.
You're ripping me off, John. You do realise this.
I do. I will give you a +10. Good solid woodworking, good solid blacksmithing. But it's not the Rivendell Forge. So it can't possibly be the same +15. Especially if Arden is anywhere around you guys when you're working.
Right, I'm gonna go, when we go back to Rivendell, or when we go to somewhere where there's crafting, I'm going to use your logic now to get a +25, because I'm going to get some wood that's a +10, and the head's already a +15, and then get a crafter to do it, which means they'll end up with a +25 weapon. Is that how it works? Because that's what you told me. You do realise that, don't you?
How did
You're kind of digging your own grave here.
Well, you do need good solid craftsmanship for the whole entire product. There's no
there's
way
3 nice words for that, John.
What's that?
Shut your whining. All you have to say to him.
Well, I'm figuring he's due for one of those red boxes, and maybe he'll just break it again.
To be fair, I'll be fair with that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good chance it's going to happen.
I try to persuade Abden into never cooking again.
Who's
Right.
he persuading?
And
I've
Arden
got.
tries to persuade Roger that he will
Yeah,
cook whatever he wants.
Plus 10.
yeah. I'm going to be better cook next time.
So Arden actually wins that debate. Is anyone doing any? I hate to suggest, but is anyone doing any foraging? Oh, go ahead.
I'm already
going on?
preoccupied.
Oh, you have foraged.
What is that noise?
Did you?
That's better.
Or you want me to roll for you? All right. Has anyone rolled a foraging roll that I might have missed, or no? Oh, you did? Oh, just now. Just now. Yeah, just now.
Yeah, you missed it. It's been up there for ages.
All right, you find a Burstella stalk. So there's one Burstella stalk that Meadow found. Rory, you find one D5 Morena berry.
Oh, now what's better?
Oh, not again.
Black
Hey, he's doing well.
So you find one dose of Morena berries. Arden, you're looking pretty good with those blades.
That practice helps.
Yeah, now was more better.
You should keep that practice up.
I will keep it.
And Cram, you also find one D5 of Morena berries.
Okay.
You are like right there now on the edge of the mountainous areas. So you're kind of like at the base of what's going to start becoming the mountains. So you're going to.
Is it worth us considering if we need to cook anything up from our herb kitty this evening? Because if we do, then we need to do it now. I don't know if things that we have need to be
brewed,
processed.
Some do. I'm not sure what all you have exactly, but
I'm thinking for healing and things like that. Should we consider now?
And I believe you have some empty vials.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. If we're going into a large battle, we're going to want to be capable of actually using our health potions rather than just having some random herbs.
And the brewing.
Morena berries. It says brew.
I do have the 3 vials from the
for Morena berry.
Yeah, that's what you've got down. I thought they were just in chest.
Wait, is it Morena berry potion?
No, it just says Morena berry.
Oh crap! Where's that at? On my herbalist guide to
on the Sunday group herb kitty.
Oh, that shouldn't be. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me.
Because you can dry them, you can eat them as they are. You can turn them into a potion, can't you?
That should be Morena berry
ingest
potion. Where are they? Morena berry. Wait,
we've got 11 nodules of rook.
Where does it say brew?
You got Morena. We've got 2 of them.
Oh,
Heals 10 hits. Brew.
Oh, that should be the Morena berry potion. No, that's an ingest.
The rook nodules, we've got 11 of them. They need brewing up if you want to make some of that.
Somewhere in there, that should have been Morena berry potions at one point in time.
What is that noise?
I think it's Alex's microphone.
It is Alex.
Morena berry, tab.
Just have one. It might be dodgy. I'll have another one then.
Yeah, yogurt's fine.
All right, that is ingest. Thank you for picking that up, Reg.
Basic.
Getting yourself a nice little yogurt there, Mark?
I am. Well, I'm not actually. My son is, which is unheard of.
Morena berry up here. Oh, I don't even have it out there at all. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely ingestible unless you brew them into a Morena berry potion.
And is that more potent?
The potency isn't the same, but you can brew a bunch of them together, and like I did with the potions you found in Fort Randevere.
You can throw 3 of them into one potion.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we haven't got enough for that anyway.
Quick heal 30 if you wanted.
You can do it with the root though. You just have to roll 3, 60, 10, and then see what you end up with in the potion bottle. which is going to be random because it's 2 to 20 healing.
It says a brew, so a portion of Rook might be a potion worth.
Why don't we get our best cookerer to do that?
Which is Rory, who I believe has rolled a 161 on their cooking to sort brewing some herbs.
Bonus.
Alright, so you're doing fine brewing up whatever you're brewing. Did I miss anyone's foraging roll? Did you roll foraging? I didn't roll for you.
Check your cards on that.
You're going to sleep and read something.
This
Oh,
one's
you're
quite hard.
like Erky's going to sleep, right? Not Arden?
Yeah, I'm going to now sleep and read something because it's getting late,
Well, you can
anyway.
rest. You can rest in peace knowing that Arden is in good hands.
It better be.
Well, it only goes up from here. It will get better. I'll let you know if anything bad happens to him.
Yeah, you better let me know.
There's no way the rest of us could roll near as many red boxes as you managed to do.
Rory's like, Arden is now safer.
Yeah, but see, what we will see it so maybe tomorrow or be in the week anyway.
You get 1d5 Morena berries.
And see the next Sunday also.
We will see you, Erky. You have a good week. I'll probably bump into you this week sometime.
Yeah, because I need your help in the roll 20 stuff for also, son.
Alright, so Rowanik finds another
But good night.
Good night.
Bye, okay.
Yeah, good night.
We'll see you
Just
later,
so you
buddy.
know, John,
Yes.
I will look.
I've
for
been
Morena
keeping
berries.
track of the trail mix.
Okay, you have, okay.
Everyone else forgot about that.
I was thinking
Yeah, I
about
didn't.
that, and I was like, I haven't been mentioning, day by day to check off whatever you've been eating, but I know you picked up a sack of food in the last town you were in.
We were taking a trail mix for the extras it gave us.
Right. And you've been pretty much eating that, and I think you probably all still have some trail rations. Roderick.
Finally.
Right, Roderick. 67. Are you foraging for anything specific? Or just general?
I don't know.
Win Clammet.
Just kind of general stuff?
Yeah.
Alright, so general. You managed to find a good source of water. Which
Hey,
is good.
that's nice.
A little bit lower than that, and you might have found some bad food or water. So you find a decent source find a nice kind of, maybe like a little bit of water kind of coming out of.
A natural spring.
Exactly. And just kind of running along the base of the cliff that you're kind of nestled in under.
I think I'm gonna end it right here.
All right.
My foraging. Did I find the Morena berries I was looking for?
Where is Rand? Foraging. You will find 1d5 of Morena berries as well.
Yeah, so see you guys next time.
Did you do
I'm
yet?
gonna leave.
Oh, you did already, right? See ya, Alex. We'll see you Wednesday night.
See ya,
Rosen's
Alex.
waving.
Bye,
Wave
Alex.
Bye.
Bye, Alex.
Didn't want to listen to you.
You could forage during your first 4-hour period, but if you're gonna rest during the night, then you'll be asleep the rest of the time. All right.
Is it watch time already? Oh.
It is so. So it is the evening of the 27th. This was definitely, without a doubt, the best day that you have experienced since beginning this quest. And you will wake up. I almost hate to go on. Actually, it's probably better. It's probably good. We just kind of keep on pressing on. I am going to. Who wants to do Arden?
Wants to do what, sorry?
Who wants to take over for Arden? Since I'm going to need somebody to control Arden and somebody to control.
I think
I'll look
Cram.
after Arden.
You want to do Arden? All right. So.
Yeah.
Oh, a little
And
payback.
Ren.
A little payback.
Uh,
All right. So.
And Ren said he wants to look after Roderick.
All right. So you'll do.
but I'm already looking after.
Shut up.
So let's see. That's going to be Cram.
Fine.
Cram.
Isn't he a caster?
I'm going to have so much fun with
He's
this.
a mage.
Okay.
And then Folan will give to Rend.
I'll take on Fallen as well. It's fine.
All right.
Just give me a rundown of his spell list.
He has Light Law, Water Law, and Spirit Mastery, and I thought he was level 3.
Light
This says level
Water
2.
Spirit.
Folan.
and water, was it? Yeah?
He is level 3. There is a possibility. I don't know if he updated his. He maybe. Hold on a second. There's a possibility he didn't update. Let me check his current spell list.
Which one's Arden? Is he the one stood on top of the
The cart? He was.
Arden?
He kind of looks like Darth Vader.
Oh, it is that one, yeah.
He has not updated his. He also has Lofty Bridge, so he's level 3. We've got to.
So he should have 6 power points then.
Actually he's had 9 now because his intelligence has bumped up to 100, so his power points is at 9.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, so I'll have to.
9 power points. Well, don't worry about updating him at the moment because for what he's going to be doing in the up and coming thing, he's going to be feeding the twiddly more than anything else.
I'll keep his character sheet handy in case you need any other. Most of the information will be on the combat tracker, but
Russ,
Yes,
you now have the perfect spell for Cram.
I do.
Lofty Bridge level 1.
Arden's doing. Look, he's already rolling better.
Level 1.
Practicing yoga. Wants to clear his mind before battle.
Open essence.
Are you two even paying attention?
It's a mage spell, it's not open essence.
Yeah, I was just going through it.
How can I be the only one that finds that funny?
Light law, so he's got shock.
Mark takes over and already he's rolling better. Doing yoga.
Lofty Bridge.
Light? Oh, yeah.
I was gutted with that. I thought he was going to injure himself.
Alright, let me get rid of this fate point since it's a new day. Well, it's not a new
Oh, right, yeah.
game day, but you got several days forward.
Is there any way of attaching spikes to Cram's armor?
Like the Lambton worm.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, that worked.
I mean, you could. We won't have any.
Does Cram get a say in this?
No.
Are you welding it to him in his sleep or something?
See, technically, you guys are right around.
I'm going to turn you into a projectile.
Can't we do it with that Arden?
No. This will get you to combat quicker as well.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, 50 feet into combat.
You do seem to be the meat shield these days. You and Ronique. Edic's getting. Oh, and Rand. Rand turned into a meat shield.
Turned into a tank. A rogue turned into a tank.
Cram's here to rescue the kids. He'll turn into a dwarven cannonball if you need him to.
Just get you to sort of stand there with a pointy object in your hands pointing out in front of you.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, mind you, level 3, Reggie.
Yeah, I've seen that one as well.
all throughout the night, on the various watches, you can hear in the distance, very close distance, the dreadful beating of the drums continuing.
Is it in the distance or is it close?
It's much closer than it was earlier this morning when you were leaving the forest. And was that yesterday morning?
Spells.
Where are we here? Yeah. So you're on the same day that you left the forest. You actually went from the forest about 8 miles to the base of the cliff. But you hear the continuous dreadful beating of drums. They kind of sound more distant, almost perhaps muffled, maybe coming from inside the mountains. And you can see, actually, anyone looking up into the night sky, it almost appears to be lit by what might be a distant blazing fire up in the mountains. Up kind of like above that center cliff area that you see. But other than the beating of the drums and the occasional horse hoofs beating on the ground,
I love that Grinch clip.
there are
Beth.
no encounters during the night. And you will wake up the next morning
To the smell of burnt cotton candy.
to another nice day. 72 degrees. The sun is shining brightly in a cloudless sky, and there is no wind blowing at all. So now here's where you what you want to do from here. Exactly how would you like to proceed from your current position?
With
We
caution.
should charge them.
With or without the horses in the wagon?
We're going to charge them with caution.
Charge. Cautious charge of the light brigade.
Exactly.
Are you taking the wagon and the horses into the
Yeah, we
ravine?
thought we'd leave the horses and just take the wagon.
Just okay. Well, actually, the Wednesday group. Now that you mention it, they did kind of lose their horses, and they had poor Baloo dragging the wagon around.
Which was easy for him.
Second Baloo ate the horses.
He's a brute. All right, so as you follow the road up over the ridge, bending your way kind of east, and then back around toward the south, you will see. Actually,
Adam's going to run out in front and just do some mine sweeping.
you may need to zoom out a bit because this is a quite large map.
Holy hell.
Oh my word.
That there would be a hill.
What's the red flag then?
All right, so just for anyone who's viewing, all of our group is down here in the corner, but just so you can kind of see what they're looking at. So you bend your way back toward the south, and you see standing tall before you and rising toward the blue sky above the backside of the cliff that you have been approaching for the last few days. So basically, you kind of went up into the ravine and circled around behind it, which is the only way actually in, other than climbing straight up the cliff.
Just out of interest,
Yes.
is that a orc banner or a human banner?
It is a human. It is.
I'm guessing you know what I'm talking about up in there.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely do, because I put it there. Lying just to the fore of the rising cliff, a ridge runs toward the east, kind of tapering down until it meets the valley stretched below. A close examination will reveal a gorge nestled between the ridge and the cliff behind. That which passes for a road. It's not really a road, that you're on more of a path, but you can see like it's trampled by continuous squads or patrols of horses. It will continue east east along the ridge, with an intersecting path leading off to the right and climbing upward into the upper gorge. And you can see well, not really flapping because the wind has died. There's no wind in here right now. There's no wind at all. It's a very calm day. But you can see hanging up, kind of high up in there, you can see a red banner. Can't really make out from where you're at. Actually, maybe Rowan could with a good
I was going to say Rowan would be able to.
Want to give us a perception roll, see what you see? A huge red flag hanging at the entrance to the gorge. Rowan will probably pass on what she sees. Right, she shakes her head, so I can tell you she sees a large red flag bearing the now familiar image of the Serpent Brotherhood, which is the dagger with the serpent wrapped around, kind of coiled around the dagger, and eating the haft of the dagger, or the hilt.
If I know Arden, he would try and climb this mountain first.
I told Erky he is going to be pivotal in what happens today. It would just be a matter of can he hold back or not.
I think Erky needs to climb to the top of this as the spy, because I think that's what he would do.
I think Erky needs to run up and steal that banner.
I'm pretty sure that's about what he would do.
Which one?
Run up, climb up. He'd probably do both at the same time. He'll run up, grab the flag, or maybe climb up and then jump down, grab the flag, and run back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but we have to try and play it as the character would, and I honestly believe he would do something crazy like that.
Well, I'm going to move forward on the chariot anyway, with the midgets.
Alright, so the midgets are in the chariot with... I'll tell you what, let me zoom in a little bit so that
I think Adam would try and keep up with you.
Can see what's going on. Alright, so here's the party. And actually, I guess I could zoom out. Oh, Beth has finally joined us.
Who? Never heard of her.
Let's see. So, Edig pulls up a little bit. What is your plan?
I'm going to do an observation looking for traps.
Okay.
And you do still hear the muffled drums beating. Other than the muffled drums and all the hoof prints all over the place, you really don't notice anything else, but you're quite certain that where you want to go is up in that gorge. And you can see
I suppose we'll have to gorge ourselves.
The horse the horse tracks lead up into that gorge as well. Actually, the kind of road or path that heads off east looks less worn, actually, less traveled. So it seems to be that this is where everything stops, more or less. Other than the lower road, like down below the ravine, or where you guys were kind of camped, and the road went further to the east. I mean, but as far as what comes up into this gorge, or up into the base of the gorge, it kind of all continues upward, which you're kind of looking east in this picture, and so going up into the gorge would kind of be like going south, but up. And so I can't really go much further than that unless, well, without anyone telling me how you want to approach.
I'm looking for traps and spying eyes.
And yeah, no traps. Well, spying eyes. You do get you get a very strong feeling that there are excellent places to hide up in those up in the high in the heights, where there could be several watchmen keeping an eye and quite easily spot you approaching. In fact, Rowan and Rory concur.
Uh,
Oh wait, Rowan's observation was to try to spot that flag and see what she could make out. But Rory also feels like this would be an excellent place up high for watchmen to keep guard.
I would hide in a tree, but there isn't any.
That's right. Not here anyway. But I do promise you're getting close to some more.
I think that might be one there.
If it makes you feel any better. Oh, that might be a few trees. Now that you mention it.
I shall grab my spear and my shield.
What Adam would do something crazy. He's just going to run out. He's just going to run out front as far as it. How far can he travel?
Well, we're not actually in combat rounds or anything, so if you want, you can just tell me that you want him to go.
I don't want him to, but I know he would just run up.
Oh, we all know what he would do.
Yeah, he would just be up here.
He would go without the rest of you.
Yeah,
I think he made that pretty clear this morning. The question is, would he come back?
he's going to go there and he's going to shout with all of his lungs, "It's all right, everybody. There's nothing going on."
All right.
Are we bringing the horse and cart with us, or are we leaving it?
We could bring it with us because we can use it. Well, how easy is it to travel further without it becoming a hindrance?
I mean, it's.
Oh, we've got you and you're a hindrance already.
Shut up, you.
It's doable. You can take the cart all the way up. I mean, in fact, I will tell you, you can actually see some wagon wheel ruts in the path. It's just not.
Why don't we ride in it then? Because then we got it for cover.
Yeah. We'll put the squishies inside. So.
Apart from
Cram
Adam,
first.
he would be gone.
He would be.
We'll put the squishies inside. Cram gets in there first.
So everyone's kind
What was that, Graham? You wanted to go 100 feet in front of
Arden.
We can do that.
He wants to
Just-
stick out ahead.
I think we remain in there as long as we can for the cover.
So there's 100 feet away, Russell. You could literally teleport him up the cliff.
That's what I was thinking. Well, I'm going to do that to Cram when we get closer. Just so that he can get into combat quicker, so he doesn't get shot at.
Good for me.
There's guys that are dropping boulders on our heads. Now have a cram.
Now have a Cram.
So, should I push Arden on then? Does everyone agree that's what he'd do?
That is what he'd do, yeah.
Has anyone seen anything yet?
I've seen somebody run up a hill.
He's going to do up there, and then he's going to do his own two-handed combat just on that hill. There'd be nobody there. He wouldn't do an observation. He would just do two-handed and injure himself.
So if you want to do that, you just click on his TWC button, which he probably would do. Practice it on the way up the hill.
Cancel, hang on.
Any idea of negotiation's gone out the window. Just see somebody running up the hill with a sword.
Your mother is a snowblower and your father smells like elderberries.
Sword in one hand, hand axe in the other.
That was not Cram, that was Arden.
No, that was Cram.
I gave him 50 over 10 because he's travelled quite a ways.
Alright. So, he's just kind of swinging his blades, not really looking like anything professional, but he hasn't managed to cut one of his arms off yet.
So we'll move the cart up then towards him.
So when does the combat start? When we watch Arden roll down the hill with peppered with arrows?
So far, nobody's attacking.
Uh-huh.
Drums are keeping on going rhythmically. Currently, no horse hooves.
Heart. Hide cram.
And you definitely feel like it's a good place for an ambush.
Come on, Ronique.
Or I should say a good place to be ambushed. Well, actually, that doesn't even sound right.
I think here is where Arden would go up the cliff.
Climb?
I think he would climb.
Or up along the, kind of like...
Well, up here.
Up that way. All right. I think you might be right. So go ahead and do a climbing maneuver for him.
Oh, he's going.
I could
That's him, not me.
I kind of agree that's.
How far do you want to go up?
I will start preparing a spell.
All right.
So I'm just gonna prepare. Just leave it.
So how far does it get, John?
What's the range on that?
Let's see here.
Which
You
one?
got 100-foot range. You can cast landing on him.
Yep. That's what I was thinking. Just in case.
What did you roll? A 46. Let's see.
To be fair, he started at the bottom, so he would attempt to climb, and if he failed, get up. What he would.
Right. No, he's it's not a failure. I just have to see how far he can go. Arden.
5 feet.
He makes it about 5 feet. That's exactly right. It's a slow process. So we'll say instead of doing a different roll every round, because God knows he'll probably fall, he will make 5 feet every 10 seconds, so he can move about 30 feet a minute. So,
in gameplay time.
Yeah, in the game time. So like take him 6 rounds. I'm not sure how high up, so let me see, 30. So he'd get up there by about a minute. So it might take him roughly 3 minutes to get up that. I mean, if he's actually, once he gets up around here,
he's going to go across, isn't he?
Might be a little more difficult to go from here to up there. But I mean, if he's shooting for this area, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right. So probably take him close. We'll say close to 4 minutes to get up there. And you guys can see him climbing.
Everyone rolls their eyes
in amazement as he hasn't fallen.
Yes.
And while he's climbing, everyone just kind of hanging down and hanging back and watching.
Yeah.
Are we using him as a scout?
Probably. I think that's kind of what he was doing.
Nobody's attacked us yet. Yeah, okay. So do we wait till he goes up there 4 minutes? Folks?
We could pull the cart underneath where he's climbing, to be quite honest.
To sort of here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've still got cover, and we can see what's going on a bit better.
And in that time, he's probably halfway up then, is he, John?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you could easily get into position while he's on his way up.
And while he's going up, I'll do a couple of observations to see what he sees as he's going.
All right. How is he even still alive? All right, so other than finding good foot and hand holds, he's not really observing much of anything else. You can. Are you anything specific? All right. You are quite certain the place is crawling with enemies, but you just can't see them. It's almost like elven intuition.
Can we do some magic? Has anyone got any magic to detect people or things?
I could do things like fog, but that's only a small area, which would subtract
Rory
anything attackers with missile attacks.
pretty much feels the same way Roanoke does, as well as Cram. And if you're looking for traps or anything, there are none.
No, I was just
here anyway.
seeing if I could see anybody.
No. If there's anyone hiding up there, they are well hidden.
So, in that time, are we saying he's gone same again?
Sure.
And he's going to carefully peep over because he does have a modicum of. No, he doesn't. Let's be honest. That's him, not me.
So he cannot notice really much of anything other than, I would say, he could look down into the gorge.
I think see the flag from there, wouldn't he?
He can see the flag, and he probably from there he could see that it's a Serpent Brotherhood symbol on the flag. I would say he may even possibly see a sign posted right near the flag, but he can't read what the sign says. But he could look down into the gorge and judge that it's approximately 125 feet wide going in, with several defensible pockets wherein a small army could be staged. These pockets are slightly hidden by the 30-foot plus rock structures encasing the upper gorge approach. And
can he see a better way in?
I would, he can definitely see that this is the only way in other than climbing up over the rocks and down in. He can also see, oh well, actually wait a minute. What was his perception roll? Oh, it was pretty crappy.
Yeah.
That's all he can see. Just the sign and the flag and the sign. Yeah. I was almost going to give away too much. He's not going to notice much up there.
Now, why don't we send up someone useful like Roanoke?
Ro! Gonna give it a shot? Climbing?
Hey, Cram, did you want to go up there?
I'll stay down here because I'm going to be a cannonball, aren't I? You're going to fire me up there, aren't you?
Good climber.
I can teleport you up there.
Skills. Oh, so you.
What's the fail on that?
There isn't one.
There isn't one. If you're a willing target, there isn't one.
Ro, you can make it up there pretty quick.
Ronique's up there.
Don't worry about it. Ronique's already up there while we're talking about it.
she kind of, in fact, she once she got her mind made up to go, she just about caught up to Arden. He barely gets up there, and she kind of pops up right beside him.
Boots him off the side.
He doesn't even in fact, his perception skills are so bad he didn't even notice her coming up behind him.
Shouting Arden.
Damn, you're scared the crap out of him. Once you get up there, Ro, what do you want to do?
Yeah, see if he jumps, gets scared, and falls off.
Yeah. He's looking for eggs. When she gets there, he's just like looking for food. What are you doing? Scouting.
All right.
Job to do.
So much better. You look down into the gorge, and you see everything that I just said that he saw, which he wouldn't have seen. I gave too much away. So you do.
Can she read the sign?
And inside one of those pockets, toward the south, like the furthest one in, and on the opposite side, like back against that higher cliff, you see another pocket, the furthest pocket in, near what appears to be a dead end in the gorge. Like you see various trees in there as well. So you can see rocks. You're going to see some trees, and there's like a cluster of trees. It kind of looks like a dead end. Like the path goes in and then stops at a cluster of trees. But on the other side of what would be the path, in the very last pocket in the gorge, stand a small group of tents with, you can see, one man standing in that group of tents. He's a recognizable man, actually. You recognize him as the gentleman that was in the camp south of Troll's End when you approached, thinking that it was like a trading post. The gentleman that was standing outside the tent, who kind of made the motion when Randavir came out of the tent, and he made a motion, and the next thing you know, all of you guys were completely surrounded by archers. It was the captain of the bowmen. You see him standing outside of one of the tents. He is the captain of the bowmen from the camp south of Trolls, and the very captain who so politely escorted you to town only 9 short days ago.
Do we have anything to make like a Molotov type deal? Something like equivalent to that?
Bottle of whiskey.
You do have a keg of ale.
I've got 2 bottles of brandy.
Actually, I don't know how much ale is left.
Ale won't burn like that, though.
I've got 2 bottles of brandy.
That'll burn. But oil burns better.
I've got oil as well.
Oil flasks.
Yeah. Because just don't throw them at the door, remember?
No, fire them at the door.
Just open the door and it's fine.
It tends to work easier.
Yeah. But I want to throw it at the door.
I want to burn the children.
Yeah, it was attempting to shoot the door with a flaming arrow that he'd been holding for 5 minutes. And hadn't burnt his bow.
So, you're up there, you see all that. What do you want to do with that information?
I think she should tell Arden to stay there for the rest of the campaign.
And what are you doing with Arden? You're going to leave him there? Tell him to stay there? Wait here?
Did anyone make him that parachute?
No.
It could parachute in with M16s and take them all out.
He probably could. I'm sure he would love to try that. Would you like to try to convince him to stay and guard the horses and wagon and chariot?
Yes.
Ooh, give me a persuasion roll. Oh, I shouldn't have put that in your head. That's not fair of me. We'll pretend I didn't say anything.
We'll cut that from the recording.
So, is that? I mean, do you want to do that? Do you want to try to persuade him to come back down, or anything? You can always attempt to persuade Arden, and if anybody wants to do, I don't know. It might be Ruinique that's good with persuasion. Ro's not bad. Go ahead, Arden, and well, whoever's in charge of Arden. Do you want him to agree? What are you trying to do? Get him to come back down? All right. So he can either agree, or if he wants to disagree, he could try.
He'll only come back down if someone has a sledge for him to sit on and ride down.
He wants to ride down.
Because he's frightened.
So we'll say you managed to persuade him to get back down. So both of you go ahead and give me a climbing maneuver.
This is where it all goes very wrong.
It's actually going to be a little... I always feel in life... And actually, Russ, you would know this better than me, for sure. Do you find it harder to climb down than up?
No, not really.
Not really?
You just have coming down hills.
You just have to be more careful of how you place your feet.
Right. I always feel like I'm more scared coming down than going up. Yeah, well, Russ probably does it professionally with all that.
It's easier to come down than it is to go up.
Oh, wow. Something's wrong with me then. I'm backwards.
Well, when you
I can't see where I'm going.
You're pulling yourself up where it's just slightly lowering yourself.
So you're looking down so you can see where you're placing your feet easier as well.
Yeah. All right, so Arden climbing. We'll say you both make it down. You definitely come down a lot quicker than he does. He's more nervous, but he makes it down to the bottom.
Oh, did she fall?
No, unfortunately.
Russ, you could have teleported him into the camp.
I could have. But
That
the
would have
reason
been
I've been
distraction.
concentrating for the last sort of 3 rounds, so they have bonus to teleport you into the camp.
Right, let's do it. Let's just teleport me in.
Really?
Well, we'll get a bit. I need you a bit closer first.
Yeah. Let
If
me
Cram
get
has to die for the kids, he'll die for the kids.
I need to get Rend in there as well. So
This is going to be awesome.
I got to check the distance because it's 100. So I think that's
Well, let's get closer. We'll get as close as
Can
do it from where we are.
Rowanique do me a favour?
Rowanique?
I'm sure or maybe even Meadow. They're both the sneakiest of the two.
9, 3.
Or possibly even Rory, sorry. If they can sneak around the path quickly, make sure there's no traps or pits or blocks on the way around.
So
That's what I've just done for Cram.
Going up into the path.
Okay.
Just kind of following up in.
Yeah, around like where the wagon would go.
Look at that observation roll made by.
That's for Cram.
That was Cram that did it. I was going to say that's sneaking is now going to be under primary. Mm-hmm. Rowanique, you are quite capable of getting in there undetected.
I was going to say, because then once they are ready, I can charge around in the chariot.
All right.
Spells.
So Rory,
look at these
I'm going to say
sneaky
Rory,
shits.
Meadow and Rowanique, you all three are able to. You kind of go up along that shaded part of the.
That's sneaky. They ended up inside the guy.
Yeah, you're up you're up inside the gorge now, far enough up in where you can look. Matter of fact, why don't we just go ahead? Because you're pulling the chariot up as well.
Yeah.
After they get up in there.
Well, once everyone's ready and set, I'll charge around in the chariot.
Are we going to get teleported in?
Well,
I can teleport one
if
target.
you're ready to be set to teleport.
Teleport me then.
So we're going to say
teleport you, not charging behind.
3 of you, Rory, Meadow, and Row, you are far enough up in there now that you can clearly see the big banner, the big red banner hanging there with the serpent symbol, and you see the sign standing
says coffee morning
beside it. It says, "Beware
Minefield.
all who enter here. Enter by order or invitation, or enter at your own peril." So,
Minefield.
and that is in the common tongue, by the way.
So, well, can I use my observing for detecting traps when I'm there then?
Yes. Rory, go ahead and roll a D100 and a D100 open-ended and subtract 100. Let's see. And you're observing what? You don't see them, but you can hear them. They're well hidden, and you're fairly certain you hear horses somewhere.
Okay.
You're also fairly certain that you hear the sounds of crossbows, maybe cocking and bolts loading. Meadow, we'll say Meadow. Oddly enough,
Shit. Crossbow bolts loading.
you can hear this. You can hear almost as well as Rowanique. Maybe yeah. You just have this sudden surge of divine intervention, and you can hear like an elf for a moment. You can even hear the sounds of the horses kind of snorting.
Russ, if the crossbow people are behind some kind of wall or something, you might have to teleport me in there.
I'm gonna have to
You're going to have to work out where they are.
We need to see first, but I can't move everybody, but I think we're all kind of up here now. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think
We're up to that sign, aren't we?
Not all of us. I think only Meadow, Rory, and Ronika are up there at the moment.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to do a sneaky
So you're
roll.
basically, the three of them are basically at the western edge of the approach. Like they're actually looking into the ravine, and they can see at the far end, it looks like a cluster of trees up against. It's almost like you're in a horseshoe, kind of, with the higher part of the horseshoe being on the south and kind of wrapping around, kind of low, and then coming back up to
goes into a dead end.
Yeah, so it kind of looks like it goes into a dead end with a cluster of trees at the dead end,
like an amphitheater.
Yeah, with a whole bunch of different
crossbowmen,
pockets of almost like little camping sites, kind of. And Ren, you easily managed to slip up the hill and catch up to Rory and the girls.
Right, now I'm going to talk to the girls and see if they can spot where the crossbowmen are or where they think they are.
I'll say they feel like they're lined up in the far end of the gorge. Can't really see them, but it kind of seems like down in that tent area, it seems like that tent area is well fortified.
Right. Is there a straight route straight into there without any obstacles? Right. That's all I need to know.
Yes. Almost like a road, because you can definitely see. It's not a good road, but it's definitely been well traveled.
Because we can't actually see this area properly, but can you give me a distance from where I am to the tents?
Let's see here. Alright, let me zoom in a bit, not too much, so I can see the number. Let's see. Roanique could give you a pretty fair assessment of the distance from where you're roughly at to the pocket where the tents are, and it's just about the center of that pocket's about 115, 120 feet from, well, maybe even a little bit further, because you're probably a little tiny further than where I'm measuring from. So I'd say maybe 125 to 150 feet into that area.
Right. So I will move up.
Actually, maybe even further than that, because this is only one portion of the map of the ravine. So it maybe even closer to 300 feet.
That's a big distance. And we think the crossbowmen are in there?
Yes. Well, they could be scattered throughout, but
and the trees, how far away are those?
Oh, I'm going to say you're actually in trees right now.
Right, that works. In that case, I'll make a roll for moving people up. But we're pretty sure they already know we're here, aren't we?
I would say any decent perception roll would give you the idea that you've been spotted.
Right.
I mean,
in that case,
anyone with half a brain would probably make that assumption that you may have been spotted. So they probably know you're coming.
Okay.
Let's send Arden in.
But for some reason, they have not attacked.
Arden would have gone in now, though.
And you will also have by now seen the sign, "Beware all who enter here, enter by order or invitation, or enter at your peril."
So perception for traps again.
Right. I don't see it. Is it in there? Or are you doing it now?
I'll do one now, but I didn't use the one that I did 195 for.
Oh, you did one earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
You're definitely not noticing anything that looks like a trap other than feeling like you could easily be walking into an ambush because this place is so well fortifiable that you feel, especially as you get in there deeper, you do get the feeling that you could easily be ambushed.
Should we put the cart across the back of where we're going in? Would that block it?
What? So we can't escape?
Well, we can't escape, but also it means someone can't come.
You mean like there?
Where?
Here.
Possibly. I don't know where it officially starts. I presume it starts here. Really, I might be wrong.
No, kind of like once you're up in that area there, then you're basically looking in straight ahead into the gorge, like a ravine leading back to, like I said, what appears to be a dead
So
end.
to block that entrance, we'd have to put that there. Is that what you mean?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. Well, I'm going to be fair. The gorge is about 125 feet wide.
So that's pointless.
Yeah, you won't really be able to block off anything.
Why don't we ride it into there then and shoot out of it? Because we will have more cover than just walking in.
Or you can take up defensive positions and I'll just ride through and back out. When they're all shooting at me,
Right. I'm going to move
start
into
picking off all the archers.
as far as I can and merge into one of the trees.
You are merged.
So I want to be on the edge, so I want to merge along so they can't see me, hopefully. Because they probably won't notice what's going on anyway. But
you made a good enough sneak roll, so I'm going to say you can easily go from tree to tree to tree. Let me just take a look at this other map again once. Oh yeah, there are rocks and trees, so you'll be able to move along in there.
And if I find a suitable rock that I can hide Cram behind without any obstacle, if I've got a straight line of sight to it, without any obstacles in the way, is there any rocks like that I could transport Cram into?
Like into one of the pockets?
Yeah.
Without any intervening barrier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Just let it. Go for it. If Cram dies, he dies. Just do it.
What, here, let's. I'm gonna say, is everybody up now? Like up?
Yeah.
All right. Let me just slide you guys in, man.
Like I said, the best option is if the archers take up decent positions, I'll ride in and ride out, and draw aggro. As soon as you know where they're shooting from, you can teleport Cram to there.
Yeah, but I wanted to get him closer because John says like 300 foot. Until we get a visual, it's hard to see. But I agree with you, Reggie. I just want to get. I don't want to give him the option of being able to shoot at a longer distance at us. If we can close the gap quicker.
I've got no problem with them shooting at a huge distance at me.
No, that's true, yeah.
Because they're going to be on that many minuses, they ain't going to hit for Erky's sake.
Let's move on to this other map then, and we'll do what Reggie's suggesting, I think. But we can then move and see what we're doing a bit better. Yeah, it's really small now.
Yeah, so think of this map, but like doubled. So you're actually back about another map's worth. So I didn't really kind of.
That's simple.
But
it's just like it's like double long of what this is showing. So you're actually further back, but you're gonna have a few pockets, especially pockets on the south side. So you're facing east.
Well, the cart's not going to be there, so I'm going to move the cart there for a minute.
That'll be back probably about another 100 feet or so.
So I could merge.
Actually, all of you kind of are currently until you move up.
So I could move into one of these sets of trees quite easily.
Yes, your stalking was good. Meadows. Anyone else that's sneaking can sneak, but
Bro and Rory can all put themselves in positions that they want to be in.
So I'll hide in a tree at the moment like that.
That's Cram, not the cart.
Cart sneaking brilliantly.
All right, so you'll be able to sneak.
You might find somewhere nice for you, Meadow.
I'm sticking with Ren, that's
You'll
all.
be going at a slower pace. So if you're keeping the pace, Randall kind of like maybe not get too far ahead of you.
I'm going to put Meadow up here.
Here we go. Here's the dragon sneaking roll just about to come, but it's from Arden.
So everyone's doing well. As far as observation row, it's still daytime out. It's a little darker in the ravine because you're not getting like direct sunlight down in here. But you can hear the sound of a campfire going. So even though it's much warmer than it has been,
I'm afraid Arden is just
relatively early in the morning.
Arden can be with me if he wants.
Arden, where did he roll?
48.
For the 48.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But he can be the dinner bell.
To the trees too. So he's gonna
I think he's good. He's just going like much slower. He's trying to be very careful.
Well, I'll let him jump on the cart then with Edig.
Yeah.
I've got no control over him. I can't do that.
Practically crawling.
What's he got?
Actually,
just put him somewhere nice. Like
Arden is actually down on the ground doing a low crawl, a military low crawl. Yes. How's that sound?
And right.
And every once in a while, kind of like checking in front of him for
so it's just Rowan and Rook to find a position.
Ro?
Is that Arden? I'll put that by Arden. So we've got something. So I rolled 126 for sneaking with Fallen to put him next to Rend.
All right.
So he's got a clear view of what he wants to do to cast leading on Cram to move him closer to the camp.
All right, so you're going to do a spell, and you're going to teleport Cram. Oh, you already did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's 108, yeah.
All right.
That's just, I've been preparing it for like 4 rounds, so...
Right.
Cram, wait before you send Cram in.
All right.
I want to do
right away. It's all ready to go.
You want the target for where Cram's going?
Yes. Well, I can see clearly from where...
That's Cram. I'm shit at this.
So I'm going to do a ride check first, and I'm going to run in and run back out.
Yep, that's fine. Wherever I put him, he's got to be a straight one.
All right.
When Edig does that, Cram's going to use his 181 to go on see who's where.
Oh, that's the observation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Edig rides in.
I've got 120 feet, 125 foot movement in around.
All right, and you're just kind of doing like a normal trot, not like a gallop, but a trot.
Yeah,
right.
Decent move.
All right, so yeah,
You're seeing a ride by observation.
Well, I'm trying to pull aggro on any archers out of there.
Normally you do a ride by shooting with 2 hobbits in the back.
I know, but they all dispersed.
You almost find this part of the road right in here a little bit easier. Maybe because it's more of a flat surface, and you can actually go about 150 feet total. So you can, if you want to move in and then move back out and see what happens.
Well, I'm going to move to there. Right, I've plotted my move, so you should be able to see it.
All right, kind of going in. All right, so as you ride in, kind of coming back, turning down into that final pocket and pulling back
into there.
Out. Yes. As you turn around and start heading back out, you almost feel like you hear the guy at the campfire kind of laughing. But nobody fires anything at you.
I'll make a perception just to see if I see anything while I'm moving around.
All right. See, other than maybe Spot and Arden, very slowly moving along. You almost almost don't even see the rest of them because they're so well hidden, and you definitely don't spot any archers.
But okay then.
No one's attacking.
Well, I guess we'll try that again.
Whoa!
Yeah. So
you get on two wheels.
My plan was slightly different.
If you're on two wheels, though.
You can probably
chariot.
My plan was slightly different this time.
It floats.
I was going to come in, go across, and just charge in and hit that guy.
Boom.
Was that laugh at me, will you?
So we're looking at an attack. Is that right?
Yeah. So I should end up there.
All right. Before you make your attack, a volley of crossbow bolts is going to fire out from the south.
That's what I'm expecting.
And the east. And that's where we'll pick it up next week. Because
it's a long combat.
I wasn't anticipating that. I mean, I was. I'm ready for it. I'm definitely ready for it. But you're going to have quite a few crossbow bolts coming at you. And actually, I can kind of...
Was that huge ride check? They even had a chance to notice.
Can I just also say that given how we've been sat there waiting for it, could it be possible that simultaneously as that happens, that Rend teleports me into almost the same spot? So sort of here.
I can get you into...
I know that we're not starting that point yet, but it'd be nice if we could mark it so that I got in at the same point so that it splits the actual amount of bolts that are being fired. Or surprises them at least.
So we could say you see Edic charge in, and you shout to Rend, now?
Yeah, and he's going to teleport me to the back of him, hopefully, so I can get a rear flank.
I cannot teleport you to the back of him due to the fact it's going through Edic and going through him.
How far can you do it?
It doesn't say that, does it?
You could, yeah, it says it has to be a straight line with no obstacles.
I'd say, well, to get
obstacles
behind him,
walls and shit.
Well, if you're going behind him, the guy himself would. Russ is probably right. Edig, the chariot, and the guy himself would probably. I
get a flank.
Two obstacles. Let's see. Although he could teleport you to a different spot without the obstacle, and then you could just run the extra 10 or 15 feet.
You could just
get to there and then 5-foot
step.
At least there I get the surprise flank, don't I?
Well, from there you can just take the 5-foot step into here.
It'll be no surprise.
For the rear attack.
Well, actually,
the teleported I think would surprise him. Surely,
yours would be a surprise. They know you're coming, but he would not expect you to all of a sudden be behind him. So
and he would be watching. He'd also be watching Edig, so to be fair, he probably would have his back to me a little bit.
Yeah, anything he could not physically go through, which would be Edig, the chariot, or the other guy. So but he could teleport you, maybe to that square or the square right.
That would work right there.
There's no obstacle there, and I'll get a rear flank on him.
You would.
A surprise rear flank.
Ooh, John doesn't like the sound of that.
Yeah, surprise rear flank. You could definitely get that, but
right. Boom! That's happening next week.
It's definitely going to hurt. There was actually.
If you leave your character there, we'll just say that because the spells will be cast.
I like that because
you're not expecting.
There's a very good possibility I can't run a Wednesday session this week because I am scheduled to work. In which case, the Sunday group would have jumped further ahead of the Wednesday group again. Which I do want the Sunday group to stay ahead a little bit because I'd rather have the Wednesday group metagaming than the Sunday group metagaming. Because,
oh, really?
Yeah, if you guys know in advance what's going to happen, kind of on Wednesdays, it's not quite so bad. But I like it better on Sundays when you're kind of all putting your heads together, because you do a lot more kind of.
You know, hard on the Wednesday group, we're trying not to metagame by doing things completely differently.
I know you've been doing great, and plus I've mixed it. Well, you actually mixed it up by taking that riverboat down a river. Really screwed up about 4 of my maps.
Saved as well was like 2 months of travel.
Yes, I cannot tell you how many maps I had prepared for everything. I've got maps all over in here that never got used. Bad guys that I put together. I even had I had those.
It's all Meadows' idea anyway.
You should have just made a river map and had archers shoot at them.
Shut up, Reggie.
I should have. I could have.
Right, I'm going, guys.
All right, I
See
will
you
see
later,
everyone next week, and we'll end up picking it up at the top of round 1 with Edict charging. So it's going to be a bunch of bolts flying through the air first, and then Edict and Cram are going to get their attacks, and we'll go from there.
Super duper.
And the girls are, well, Rosalind's waving. Beth is waving.
Beth's probably not listening.
Yeah.
I can't. She, you know what she did? She took her glasses and she pointed them kind of down. She kind of slid them halfway down her nose, so I can't see what's actually in the reflection in the lenses. She's on
Let me see. What goodbye shall I do today? I think I'll do my favourite one.
So not too bad. I mean, we did all right. And as far as I can tell, other than whatever was going on with Roll20 earlier, I didn't have any lagging issues at all. And I think we recorded this. Well. We did. 3 hours and 31 minutes, still recording. I had no issues from my end, and I think we've also got Neil recording the podcast end. So
should be okay then.
I think that's a start.
Awesome.
I think it all went well, and I didn't drop any F-bombs. I don't usually.
You don't.
I did in one of my videos last night because all of a sudden I noticed the camera wasn't filming, and I was like, I can't remember. Probably like, what the F happened to the... And I thought I just went through this whole half-hour video and it didn't record, so I stopped it, and then I checked, and it did actually record, except for the last 30 seconds something happened to the camera. I was like, if I just wouldn't have dropped that F-bomb, I could have kept this video. It's all right.
Right. Night, everybody.
All right, Mark. We will see you next week, mate.
Bye, bye,
waving, girls.
Later, guys.
See everyone.
Sunday?
Bye, guys.
Yes.
See ya Wednesday.
Some of you, hopefully, I will let you know about Wednesday.
Oh, well, no, not Wednesday, but...
Bye, Nikki. Miss you, Nikki.
Rosalind's waving hands and feet.
Bye.
See you, Rosie.
I'll let you
See
know.
you, Bear.
I'll let you all know about Wednesday. Those of you who play on Wednesdays, too. I'll find out. I should be the first person taken off. But we'll see. I don't know how busy we are.
Okie dokie.
Everyone have a fantastic couple days until I see you again.
I'll see you later, Reggie.
Later.
Later.
Have a good night, everybody.